Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another one of my streams. Today, we're going to be talking about Daredevil Born Again. And once again, I have a special guest, ReelHooperKnowledge. Appreciate you, brother, for coming on the channel again for this collab of a live stream talking about Daredevil Born Again.
It's an absolute pleasure, an absolute blessing to be here, and I can't wait to talk about and delve into all like Daredevil goodness and all that. I'm really excited.
Yes, absolutely, man. So let's begin talking about episode 8. We're gonna give our general thoughts about the episode because a lot of crap happened. This is supposed to be supposedly the best episode of the season, along with episode 9. I hear like going 50-50 for which one's the best. I'm gonna throw it over to you, Real Hooper Knowledge. What are your overall thoughts of episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again?
All right, so yeah, thank you for letting me have the floor. I think my first initial thoughts for the entire thing is, I remember watching it with my homie. Actually, I was watching it and I was just experiencing this like level of tension. Like, oh my goodness, I didn't expect to feel that level of tension. That like I know people really thought like season 3 of Daredevil, right, and Netflix that had a lot of tension, and I understand completely, right? And I think I felt the same tension is that episode, especially the ending where it's like so much is going on, right? And there's so much like moving pieces. There's Vanessa, you have Bullseye, you have Kingpin, you have BB Yuri trying to do her thing. She's trying to maneuver around and basically, get justice for her uncle, rightfully so. And then, and then you got Matt trying to, expose it to his girlfriend, like, this guy is bad. Why do you do therapy for this dude? So I'm like, I feel like it's a lot of moving pieces, but they handle it so chaotically well, like it's a structured chaos. That's how I see it. Because the camera work was very methodical. It was very soft and it was very it was like you could tell like they gave a lot more effort here and than the last few episodes. Because like the camera work was moving, but also still, and we saw the entire picture, there's panning, there's a lot more the editing wasn't like, it wasn't like jarring cut. It was let it breathe, let the moment breathe, and then we move on, but through the camera is the one that's moving us on, not the editing, so I mean that's very, very fun with that. And I thought that overall the episode is really strong. One of the best, well, I think it's one of the best Daredevil episodes, not even from Born Again, but just from Daredevil.
One of the best ever.
Yeah, one of the best. That's how I see it.
Okay. Yeah. So would you say like would you say like it's like an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10? You think this could be the best episode so far, or
I think it definitely it gotta get like I think it might get a 9 out of 10, 9.5, because I do think that Bullseye's escape was kind of anticlimactic. Like I don't think it's that easy to leave Riker's Island, I mean he got moved to Gen Pop, right? So I mean that's an understandable thing, but he kind of left. I mean, I kind of thought he was gonna go crazier in that prison. I thought he was gonna go crazy on Gen Pop. He's gonna slaughter everybody. But they don't got that budget, I assume. So even if it's Disney, they're like, I don't want to kill everybody here. It's a waste of money. Too much extras dying.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like another Punisher season 2 jail fight scene, Oh, not Punisher season 2, Daredevil season 2, where Punisher's like
I know. I was anticipating that. I'm like, oh my goodness, we're gonna get a one-take Bullseye going ham, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be amazing. And then he just kills 2 guards, and then he leaves. I'm like, oh wow. I mean, he's gone, right? But then he still had an impact, so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful he's even in this episode,
Yeah, absolutely. We get some like really good Punisher, Daredevil scenes, and just the performance of Bullseye himself. Like he's such a great actor, very underrated. We always talk about Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, but the actor that plays Bullseye is like he's like up there with them in my opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think he's one of my Bullseye's my favorite. He's my favorite villain in the MCU. Honestly, I think he's my favorite. And I feel like I'd love to delve into that more, probably in a later video. But I feel like Bullseye resonates with me a lot. I mean, I don't think I'm a serial killer or nothing like that. But I just want to let's make that clear. Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he's a very compelling character that I'm glad to see him in a new light. And the actor, he's actually like he's brilliant. I feel like it's one of those guys where he's apparently from what I've heard, like with other people and how he interacts with them, he's really nice and sweet, right? So it's
Yeah.
always the sweetest dudes are always like the scariest guys to like to like they're always the ones that get the scariest characters. So I'm like,
Yeah, like Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark
oh
Knight.
yeah, Heath Ledger was just like probably a sweetie, but man, that guy's scary. But that's why I'm like, that's why I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah. I feel like the props to all the performers in the show. I feel like I think everyone for the most part has great performances. Like even if it's the weakest episodes, I think they're still great performances.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, even with episode 5, which I don't think it was the weakest episode, but like least centric Daredevil episode. Charlie Cox still gave
Hmm.
a great performance. Kamala's dad was still
Hmm.
he was pretty good in the episode. But no, yeah,
Right,
you made a lot of really great points there, and yeah, it was
absolutely.
great seeing Bullseye. So yeah, you'd say you give like a 9.5 out of 10 for episode 8.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I feel like it's the most Daredevil episode without Matt being Daredevil, quote
Yeah,
unquote,
yeah,
I
I
think that's
actually
what's
agree
really
with that.
brilliant about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like even without the suit too.
yeah, absolutely. And most of the episodes this season, he was in the suit, and they were still like really good, I would say.
Yeah. What do you think about it overall?
Okay, well, I I feel like this was the best episode. Let's just
Hmm.
throw that out there.
Right.
Especially the ending, that was beautifully done. I gotta say, it felt like classic Netflix Daredevil. The tension was there. I was like at the edge of my seat trying to figure out what's going on, what's Matt thinking, who really set Foggy up to die, and you could see like all the pieces kind of connecting, and then he puts it together. That was Vanessa and not Fisk, and it's just like, and then the way they're all talking with each other too. Like Fisk is like, "What are you like?" With Matt, he's like, "What do you think you're trying to do here, buddy?" And he knows he can hear him. It was
Oh
just,
yeah, that went hard. That went so
yeah,
hard.
yeah. I thought that was all really good. Um, I do. I feel like this was the best episode so far, but I would give him more of like an 8.5 out of 10 instead of a 9.5 in my opinion. Might go
Okay.
lower depending on how everything wraps up in the finale. They set up a lot of moving pieces here, and it looks like next episode they're gonna have to do a lot of explaining, a lot of uh, actions gonna happen with Punisher, and it's like, how is he gonna come into the fold with all this? Why did Vanessa hire Bullseye? Why did Bullseye work for Vanessa when he and like when you look at Daredevil season 3, he was trying to hurt Fisk. He doesn't want anything to do with him. He got manipulated by him. So I don't know. That's like, it's the episode itself is good, but when it ties to Daredevil season 3, um I just I, I don't know. I feel like certain things don't make sense in my opinion. Do you know
Hmm.
where I'm coming from with that, or do you see something different with it?
No, I absolutely agree.
Yeah, like with Bullseye, it's like from Daredevil season three's ending, like he hates Fisk, right?
Hmm.
But here
Yeah.
he's working for Vanessa, or he might, or we don't even know what real, if that, maybe there's something else completely going on that we don't even know of. Maybe this is somehow leading to Foggy faking his death. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like based off of Daredevil season 3, Bullseye wouldn't want to work for Fisk, you know? So, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts about all that? Do you think it can work? Do you think it does work, or do you think I'm just losing my marbles? Or Real Hooper, are you there? Uh oh, guys, I think we might have lost Real Hooper knowledge again. Hey, you there, buddy? Uh, let me see. All right, guys, I think we might have lost Real Hooper knowledge for a split second, but I'll just keep talking about my overall thoughts about Daredevil season uh season 1 episode 8. Yeah, so I'd give it more like an 8.5 out of 10. I feel like there were issues, I feel like, with the connectivity to Daredevil season 3, in my opinion. Um, and um, yeah, I feel like the tension was really there. The ending of the episode really worked. There was just, oh, I think we got him back. Hey, Real Hooper, are you there?
There you go. Yeah, no, I don't. It's always this internet, man.
No, it's all good, man. Yeah, so what do you think about all that with the connectivity to the Netflix Daredevil? Do you feel like it works, or you think they can explain a way that works? Like, I know time's passed, but it's
Hmm.
like, I don't know. I just want to hear your
Yeah,
thoughts about that.
I do think it's a very tricky thing with what the showrunners had to do, right? Like especially with the overhaul. It's
Yeah,
originally it felt like a soft reboot. That's what the most of the show felt like, right? Like from
yeah,
episode like 2 to episode 7, it's a soft reboot, right? And then they slowly bring back the Netflix elements in the finale, and truly, not the finale, just in this episode, and then in I'm assuming episode 9 as well. So
yeah,
then I'm assuming that most of the Netflix stuff might come into episode 9 and then bleed into season 2. And I think that's where season 2 might be the most Netflixy in comparison to season 1, cuz season 1, right? And that's why like the reasoning of why Vanessa would hire um Bullseye to kill Foggy, right? It's a weird thing because I don't even think they even knew what to do with how to bring Bullseye into the fray without like contradicting with what they already filmed. So that's why
yeah.
it's really conflicting, right? And it's conflicting with the canon to a degree. Like I'm confused as well, unless they explain it into episode 9, which
9, yeah.
I'm hoping they explain in episode 9. But I mean, I don't know if it kills. I don't know if it kills it for me, like overall, but it
No,
does.
yeah.
It is kind of tricky. It's like, huh? I never really thought of it that way. I never thought he would do that, or why this character would work with this character. But I feel like Vanessa has played a lot bigger role than I expected, right, in this entire show, because she apparently she was a part of the overhaul too. So I'm assuming she got a lot of scenes to refilm. They had to take out like the old Vanessa scenes and put in the new Vanessa.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that Vanessa always had a big part, but it wasn't this Vanessa. So now it's just like, okay, so what are we gonna do here?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty I have a feeling that like all the Vanessa scenes that we're seeing, it's what the old Vanessa would be doing. Well, not the
Hmm.
old Vanessa, like the Vanessa that they recast. I feel
Hmm.
like it would be her, like all the things that they had planned for her. They're just doing with our OG Vanessa, with her being a pretty crappy person. Like you thought Kingpin was bad. It's looking like she's kind of more twisted and evil than he is in
Hmm.
some ways. In
Oh
this
yeah.
season, like dang, she
Oh yeah.
killed the way she killed Adam too. It was like you brought an outsider in and you just like, that whole Adam scene just showed how heartless she is?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I feel like that scene is a representation of this entire like episode of like sins of your past coming back to you, right? I
Yeah,
feel like that's what's gonna happen. Like the fact that like for the case of Matt killing Bullseye or aiming to kill Bullseye, right? Like that was the entire thing where he basically snapped and just let him fall.
yeah,
So that came back to bite Matt in the ass, quite literally. He literally shot him. I mean, I don't
yeah,
think Bullseye meant to shoot Matt, but he still got it, right? He still bit the bullet for Fisk. And in that way, like I think the writing this episode where it felt like the most Netflixy, where there are quotes in this episode, which is like they're bangers. Like, oh my goodness, like the one quote with Matt saying we're not serving justice, we're babysitting chaos. Like, ooh, that's
yeah,
a bar, bro. That
yeah,
is a
that was great.
bar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you can
know?
tell, like, this is completely the new creative team, and, like they're from Punisher season 1, and there's so many great scenes and moments and lines from Punisher season 1, and I'm really
Mhm.
glad that that team is able to work with Daredevil, and we're having some really good quotes, even from like even when I have issues with the previous episodes. There's some like really great quotes, so I'm really glad that they got finally a full episode, no like mishmash of the old creative team getting their way with this episode. This is full on new creative team on display, and I think for the most part they made it work.
Right, absolutely. And I agree with what's it called? The old creative team, like I feel like most of their vision is here and some of it I like and some of it I don't, you know? I
Yeah.
think you could tell with like the editing of some of this stuff. I mean, I don't even know if like the editing was towards the old creative team at all, but man, that Muse fight. I mean, I don't want to get to the rest of the season yet, but that Muse fight in episode 7 was so like frustrating to watch because you could tell there's great things and great elements a part of it, but it's getting cut to hell like a Nolan film. I'm like, no, no,
Yeah,
no. I know
yeah.
this Nolan. I love Nolan, and I love his Batman movies. They're great, but holy hell,
The
those
fight scenes are
things are.
trash.
I know they're like it's like cut, 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 cut. I'm like,
Yeah.
Daredevil. It should not be like this whatsoever. Daredevil has always had the best like fighting styles and all that, and that scene gets cut to crap. And I think what's it called? I I know for a fact that Philip, the guy who did the stunts for the original series, he
Yeah.
came back for specific episodes.
Episode
So I'm
6.
assuming, yeah, he came back for episode 6, but episode 7 he wasn't in it. So that's why that fight scene was very kind of crap, you know, because
Yeah.
it just lacked the sauce. It lacked the sauce, lacked the motion, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that's why they had to cut it to hell because it was like, yeah, this shit is ass. I'm not keeping this shit in, but we got to keep
No.
it for the story.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't I feel like episode 7's fight, I don't know. I don't know if he worked on it or not. I feel like he might have, but I definitely could see episode 6. Like that was him. Like you can tell with the no, practicality. Sorry, I couldn't say that word for a
You're
second.
gay,
And
yeah.
just like the overall the letting the scene play out, the fight, like everything not being CGI. You can tell in episode 6 that was the original fight coordinator working on that scene.
Oh yeah, you
And
can tell because Muse was going crazy too. I'm like, oh man, I didn't know that guy had hands. That's crazy.
yeah. But yeah, you can tell in episode 6 it was him, and I think in episode 9 it's gonna be completely him too.
Oh yeah, and I think what's it called the overhaul footage is going to be heading towards episode 9 because of the set photos that were released like a couple, I think that was like a year ago, right? That's when they reshot everything, and
Yeah.
that's when they had Punisher and all that. So I'm like, okay, you know, we're gonna have Punisher again. I'm hoping for one take, but I mean, hey, I mean, I'll take anything like awesome, you know. I just want to take anything awesome. I don't care for one takes. I just want a substance-filled fight, you know. And you know, we're missing fights in this show. I won't lie, and I do miss Daredevil being Daredevil. But I feel like that's the
Yeah.
kind of the point of this entire show is kind of like Matt's being a shell of himself. You know, after Foggy's death, he's just a shell of himself. There's nobody grounding him anymore. There's no Karen. There's no Foggy to ground him no more. And that's why all these new characters feel kind of, to be honest, all these new characters kind of ass. I like BB Urich though. I like
I
BB
do.
Urich. It's not even just because she's pretty. I'm not a simp like that. I mean, hear me out though. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
BB Urich's great. The guy who plays what's that dude's the biggest Fisk Glazer. What's that guy's name? I forgot.
Oh yeah, well the Wesley Jr. I forget.
Oh yeah, Wesley Jr. Wesley
Yeah,
Jr.
that's why I call him. He's basically I think that's how he sees him too. I think that
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, that guy's cool too. There's some characters that are like, okay, I understand why you're here. Other characters like Heather, I mean, Heather's just like a shoe-in, and I feel like that's kind of the point though, to a degree. Like she's kind of like supposed to be like Matt always has like a love interest in his life. It's just always that's just the way things go for that man. That man does not take a break from girls. I respect it. Game is game, but you
yeah.
know, like I feel like his relationship with Heather, it's not like he thinks about it all the time. That's why we don't get that much fleshing out for Heather, because Heather isn't really a big thing for Matt. He's just a shoe-in. She's just a placeholder for someone real, you
Karen.
know? Yeah, exactly. Karen or Electra. I mean, I love Electra too. Please come back, Electra, please. I beg
Yeah,
you.
I think she might be coming back. I don't know. I mean, I feel like they kind of wrapped everything up pretty nicely with Defenders with Elektra. So I wouldn't. I mean, I understand bringing her back because she's such an important character to the Marvel comics, and there's a lot of stories that they could tell with her if they bring
Right.
her back. But I think Karen's going to be the end game when it comes to Matt.
I do
Heather,
have a feeling about that too.
yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Heather. I feel like they made her more interesting with this episode, with her having a thing against vigilantes. I know it's kind of tropey in a way,
Right.
it's like, oh, of course, the love interest has a problem with the superhero, and of course, it's like, the superhero is the love interest and stuff. So it's kind of tropey, but it does make her a bit more interesting compared to what they've
Hmm.
been doing with her, which is, you know, her being the therapist um for Fisk and Vanessa and her
Yeah.
book.
Oh yeah, she had a book. I forgot about that part.
Yeah. She's like,
I
but I have
don't.
to say she is the most no that, besides Wesley Jr. I think he's the most interesting. I think BB is also the most interesting. I really like their characters. Heather is kind of getting a little bit more interesting, and everyone else I don't care about with the new character.
Right. Like Cherry, like who
Yeah.
gives a fuck about why are you in the scene, bro? You're not. Well, I
Yeah.
remember people were like, why don't you bring back Brett Mahoney? I'm like, why don't you
Yeah.
bring back Brett Mahoney? That's my
That would've been
Brett
so cool.
Mahoney.
Yeah.
He's my homie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I felt the same way. Cherry's just
Yeah.
kind of there. The only reason why I like seeing his scenes is because he's from The Wire. I don't know if you've ever
Oh,
watched this.
really?
Yeah, he's from the final
The
season.
actor?
Yeah, the actor is, and it's like, oh, cool. They're bringing like Wire actors, and he also got um uh, Lalo from Better Call Saul in this too. And
Oh,
it's like, wow,
yes.
you're
I love
bringing.
seeing him here.
Yeah, yeah, he's swordsman, and it's like, I love bringing not real actors, but like great actors from great shows into this show, because it's like, you're taking things seriously. So I do kind of like the actor being in the show, but the character himself is just kind of a nothing burger, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. I just feel like he's just there because of he was there because of the reboot that they were trying to do, right? And they kind of
Yeah,
like they can't really erase him because that's a lot of footage to erase. So
yeah,
like, okay, we're just gonna cut out all your depth, just cut you out. You're just gonna be a guy, and your name is Cherry. That's all I know about you, dude. You're an
he's a
officer.
cop.
Your name is Cherry, and you're a guy from The Wire. Now I know
Yeah.
that, so it's great.
Yeah, that's pretty much all the depth that they gave him. Um,
Exactly.
but and then what the worst character? I mean, she's not bad, but she's just like completely bland and does absolutely nothing. Is the Foggy replacement? I don't even know her name. The girl.
Kristen McDuffie.
Yeah, her. Yeah, she doesn't. I don't. Why is she here? This could just be Foggy. I mean, that's just my
Exactly.
opinion. That's just my opinion. Like, I once again, I don't blame the new creative team for a lot of the issues. The only thing I blame the new creative team with is what we're gonna talk about later is killing Matt attempting to kill Bullseye. That is something that I have a lot to say later.
Mhm.
And also with the way they handled Foggy's death. Other than that, I don't blame them for anything else. They're handling, I think, everything really well, and the fact that they're able to balance the mismatch of everything, and because we've seen it go bad when they mismatch things like Justice League, for
Oh yeah.
for example. I mean, you kind of can see elements of Justice League type things going on in this show, but it's nowhere near as bad. I think they're able to make everything work. Um, but yeah, anything else you want to talk about with episode 8? We got stuff with Heather, which was stuff,
Hmm.
uh and then that ending. Do you want to talk about that ending of episode 8 real quick before we move on
Oh
to
yeah.
anything else you're
I think that overall with how they're visualized, like the visuals in this episode, like we could talk about it later, but I'm gonna give a lot of shit to the visuals for this entire show because I'm like, oh my god, I'm really picky about that stuff.
Me
But
too.
we'll talk about that later. But this episode particularly was really great with their visuals, like how they visually told how not Matt, how Bullseye sees things when he is honing in on when he's zoning in and gonna kill something or he's
Mhm.
gonna take out an opposition, he's gonna do that, and we're gonna see like the blue around him. It just like blurs everything out, and
Yeah.
that's very interesting. I'm like, wow. I mean, well, we didn't get that with the Netflix show, and honestly, I didn't think we needed to. But in this show, it's actually really nice to see the psychosis of a guy who is so good and so clean cut with his aim and precision that he zones out and everything's blue. And I'm like, huh. Everything's his little like pin board. He can kill anything and everything, and with this little like with probably like scissors and a fucking tooth. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
He's a tooth to like incapacitate a dude. I'm like, wow, this is genius, man. I love that. I love that part a ton. And then the music choice for that final scene. I don't know what it was, but when you realize that Matt was locked in, and then that dolly zoom, you know you saw that dolly zoom, right?
Yeah.
When it like expanded out and turned to like IMAX form, that was
Yeah.
really sick. I'm like, wow,
Yeah,
who
it's
would
cool
have
how they're
thought
showing,
that'd
like,
be
his
really cool?
yeah, it's like they're showing his power, with his hearing and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that was great. And then the music choice when he went up, right? That like I think that choir sound or something like that. It was a song. I'm like,
Yeah.
huh, that's actually kind of a banger. And then and then Bullseye's going crazy, and he's like, I mean, I'm surprised he didn't shoot more than once though. Like, is that thing only have like one bullet in it? Come on, throw the gun at the person at that point, buddy. But whatever. I
Maybe because
mean,
he saw that he killed Matt or something, he, like, hesitated or not kill him, but he shot him. Um,
yeah.
but, yeah, you made a lot of great points. I love the visuals in this episode compared to the rest of the season. It definitely was a bit more creative, especially for MCU. It's
Hmm.
it's creative. It's, like, and it's up there with, like, Netflix Daredevil, what they kinda used to do. Now, I don't think they ever did something like this to this degree with, like, making Bullseye's point of view, like, go blue like that, which was really,
Hmm.
really cool detail in this. Um,
Right.
um, but yeah, this was definitely a step up for sure in visuals. Yeah, I haven't been liking everything's looks so bland. Like the original Netflix show
Oh
looked so
yeah.
colorful. This looks so bland and gray. And I mean, I get it's a darker show, but you don't have to make the show look dark to portray that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's really frustrating to see like the lack of contrast for some of these shots. I'm like,
Yeah.
where is the contrast? Everything looks so flat. And
Mm-hmm.
I understand for like the morning scenes, like they're gonna look kind of like flatter, you know, not they should look brighter, obviously, but I don't want them to look too flat. But in the night, like some of these scenes look flat as hell. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
hell? This is dark times. Why is it gray? What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's okay though. I mean, I can tolerate a little bit. It is frustrating at first though.
Yeah, the color grading with this show, I'm gonna be completely honest. No offense to whoever did the color grading to the show. It's completely ass. Like it's kind of trash in my opinion. No disrespect to whoever did the color grading for the show. I'm sure
Yeah.
you are talented. I'm sure the MCU probably told you to make this great for some reason. But like it's frustrating that She-Hulk looks better than Daredevil Born Again. Like I said that in my previous video, and I got crap for saying that. But if you watch like the Daredevil scenes in that show, it looks like Netflix Daredevil in a way. It looks bright, but it's not like overly over the top with it. It looks colorful. It looks like you can see what is happening. You know, I don't know if you feel that way, but I felt like the color grading and not the cinematography, but just the colors itself in She-Hulk
Mhm.
look better than it does in Daredevil Born Again for some reason.
Oh yeah, I mean, I actually, to be honest, I haven't watched or finished She-Hulk. I've seen
Oh,
the
okay.
clips of
Yeah, I don't blame
Daredevil,
you.
but I
Yeah.
understand what you mean with like I remember that one hallway scene from She-Hulk, right? Like it was like blue tinted. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
an interesting color. Like you never thought that Daredevil in blue would be like a complementary fit, but it works pretty well. I'm like, okay, can't hate the fit. And I think with the problem with Born Again's like the way how they have like their how it's graded, like the color grading on it is very like it's not like washed out, but it's also very like there's no grit to it, you know? There's no
Yeah.
not it feels too polished and too pristine, and that's why I don't like about it because I'm like you're like Disney's like Disney and all the like producers are hyping it up like yeah this is really gritty, it's really like oh yeah you see the blood and all that, but I feel like grit could be more than blood, and it could be like the visuals of it, you know, it could look harsh, it can, and then it could look real, you know. And I
Yeah.
think we're missing that in this show particularly because even in season 3, where season 3 didn't look that harsh, you know, like it wasn't noirish, you know, in comparison of the first 2 seasons of Daredevil. Season 3 is very almost crime drama-y, where the visuals are a lot less there's a lot less contrast with the visuals, but it still looks premiere television. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially in that church scene in Daredevil season 3, I thought that looked like visually really great.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I feel like the blacks are black, you know? The
Yeah,
color is black and it feels black, but then in Born Again it's gray or it's
yeah,
like
it's
it's a very
lifeless.
muddled black and I'm like that's not black or just give me it, you know? Just give me the color. Just give me like
Yeah.
that contrast, but there's no contrast and it's really frustrating, I won't lie.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, and people would say you're nitpicking because people said that
Mhm.
with me too, but it's like, that was one of the that's in my opinion, it's like the mixture of the great cinematography, the great color grading, the great action, the real effects, all that, plus the great writing and acting and everything else makes Daredevil one the best superhero show of all time, and not just that, but, like, one of the best shows ever made, it has,
Absolutely.
like, Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad level of cinematography. We praise those shows. That's like one of the reasons why you've seen those shows, right?
Right, yeah, I've seen Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
Yeah, like eh, people always praise the attention to details and scenes and the colors. They all have meaning to something, and that's what Netflix Daredevil did too. And it's kind of frustrating not seeing that with this show. You're going from something that's like it's just masterfully done, attention to detail, and not seeing that lack of detail in this series, it kind of puts it back a little bit for me. And I can't
Yeah.
help but I'm not trying to nitpick, but it's like, that's what the original show did. And this is a bigger budget and we're in the MCU now. I expect to actually be better, and my expectations I think would be higher with what Disney
Mhm.
is capable of. Like we see what Andor's doing on Disney Plus, and not comparing shows or anything. It's just I just know they could be doing better with Daredevil Born Again on a lot of different fronts, including the color grading and cinematography and all that, you know?
Amen to that, dude. I feel like, especially in episode 8, where the cinematography, like the shots were really good. You know, you could tell that they put a lot of attention to detail with panning shots or the big wide shots, like with Vanessa and Kingpin when they're dancing, right? Those are
Yeah,
really like beautiful. Those are really like, yeah, I could see the budget and where the budget went towards. And then there's some scenes when there's daylight and it just feels kind of lame. Like it's not visually exciting. You know, I feel like the thing about the Netflix show is it's visually exciting to see. It's dynamic in a way where you can tell when it's nighttime and it's scary and it's dark, you know, and the shadows are dark and it's like, oh my goodness, you know, you're scared. But
yeah,
in this one, it feels like, you know, I think I already said this already, but like it doesn't have the same impact. And I feel like
absolutely.
colors and contrast really help create that impact visually because I mean you can always have great sound design, great storytelling, and great characters. I mean that's gonna help. That helps most of the show, but the visuals for me are like a big letdown, you know. But it's not, you know, it's frustrating. But I'm praying that it's better in season 2. Like you know, like I hope like the showrunners in like or the directors like Jensen, is it Benson? I don't mess up
Yeah,
the
it's
name, so
those
they're killing it.
yeah, it's those 2 guys, the people from Loki season 2 and Moon Knight.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Like you can tell Loki season 2 has like it's complete, not honestly completely different, but the visually it's completely unique than season 1, which is funny because they're both connected shows, but
mhm.
season 2 is a lot more visually dynamic to me. You know, there's a lot more not grit, but a lot more elegance to it. But it also has this nice color grading to it where it feels almost majestic, and I love that. And I wish that we could get that with season 2 of Born Again because I mean it looks promising, but I'm just hoping that it looks nice too.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Maybe I mean, we've seen in previous shows, like, different seasons can look different, so hopefully next season it can, you know, look better, look more lively. Maybe they can make that change in season 2. Maybe they just had to make it look so lifeless and dull and like, ugly to the most highest degree. I don't mean to sound mean with it, but it makes me wanna throw up sometimes looking at the show. I'm like, "This is so ugly." But, no, yeah, maybe in the next season, they can just make it look colorful. Maybe they had to, like, blend it in with the original show, and that's why they had to
Mhm.
make it look so lifeless. Or maybe there's some sort of story reason for it, I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
but, uh but yeah, anything else with, episode 8 you wanna touch upon before we get to finale predictions?
Okay, let me see. Okay, one more thing. I think
Yeah.
the thing about Heather, like the little thing that she said about like, I saved me. I mean,
Uh,
and I'm like, oh, honey. I mean, I respect. I mean, okay, look. I'll give her this. She shot Muse, and I respect that, right? But she wouldn't have been able to shoot Muse until for Daredevil to get there. You know, Muse
I
would have
know.
killed
Yeah.
her point blank. Period. I think if you're gonna save yourself, you would have to run. Get the fuck out of there. Why are you sitting there?
Yeah.
You saw that guy play with his butt, and you're like, let me watch and see.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And I'm like, and
Yeah.
that's why and it infuriated me when she's like, I saved me. I'm like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
You put
Daredevil.
yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
And I'm
Daredevil was
like,
thinking
oh
the
my
same
goodness.
thing too. You can see it on his face. He's like,
Yeah.
"Bruh, are you
I-
kidding me right now?"
not even Electra would give me this heartbreak, bro. Just leave. Just leave, please.
Yeah.
Electra is toxic. I won't lie. Electra is toxic, but this is another level of
Yeah.
annoying. I'm like, okay, what the frick? Why did you say that to me? Okay,
Yeah.
ugh, and I'm like, yeah, that bugs me a little. I'm like, no, like me and my friend were talking about it. Like we heard it. I'm like, no, you didn't. Stop it. Stop lying. I mean,
Yeah.
like I respect, like like some, like I've seen some creators say, like, yeah, no, I appreciate Heather setting up for herself and establishing that boundary that she did. She stood her ground and saved herself to a degree, and protected herself.
Mhm.
But I'm like, I respect that. I mean, like, you have your own take, but I'm like, I disrespectively disagree, and I'm like, no way, Heather, stop,
Yeah.
please. I mean, it's not even just because like. It's not just because like she's powerless or nothing. Not even just because she's a therapist. It's just because like you saw a dude play with his butt and you're like, let me watch and see. And then next thing you know, you put yourself in a situation where you have to pull a gun out. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Heather. She's definitely my least favorite love interest. I won't lie. Because
Oh,
she's
for
just
sure.
so blah, you
Yeah.
know? There's nothing to her that interests me. And then honestly, I'm more infuriated by her because she just
What's that? Oh, Real Hooper, you still there? Real. Oh, hold on. Let me. Uh.
sorry, little rant. My
Oh no.
bad.
No, you're all good. No, yeah, you cut out for a second. It went out for a sec.
Oh,
No, yeah,
really? Okay, there you
no, yeah, dude. Let all the emotions out. This is what we're here for. We're unfiltered thoughts. Just
go.
like whether it's
Yeah,
positive
definitely.
or negative, it's just got to be honest, and that's what y- that's what I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, you made a lot of great points.
Yeah, no, I
I was about
appreciate
to say
that.
you gotta preach what you sow or something. I was trying to say some sort of quote.
Oh yeah,
Anyway,
I get
yeah,
you. Yeah.
but yeah, no, you made a lot of great points. Heather is definitely my least favorite love interest. I do feel like they made her a bit more interesting with this episode because before she was just like literally doing nothing. But yeah, I like that, and I just want to point out one more thing with episode 8. Um, I did like how they made Fisk smart. I don't know if like
Mhm.
you feel that way too. I felt like, he knew that like he's like steps ahead. Like he knew that Heather was with Matt. Like he knew that she was at his apartment. I liked how Fisk was because when you saw the British guy, I don't even know what his name is. He's just kind of there too. But he has some
Not
interesting
James
scenes.
Wesley. That's what his name is.
James Wesley.
Not it's just British James Wesley. Like,
A
oh, get
British
him out of
British
here.
Wesley. Yeah, he has
Yeah.
like bunch of Wesleys everywhere. But yeah, no, I liked how he's like, yeah, he's like kind of scoping the place out a bit, and he like makes like a sarcastic comment that kind of like he's like protecting the citizens, like he knows that he's Daredevil. I just like that whole scene. I like how Fisk is steps ahead. He knows that Daredevil's back, and he knows that Matt's Daredevil, so he's like thinking ahead with all that. And yeah, I just like how they make Fisk really smart in this episode, just like Netflix Daredevil, but in some ways I think they made him even smarter. um I don't really like what they're doing with the therapist stuff, but I feel like they have done a really good, like the therapy stuff with Vanessa and all that. I'm not really the biggest fan of that, but I feel like they've written Kingpin really well, and especially in this episode. And there was like another scene. Oh, and with when he's promoting Wesley Jr., um the one girl, what's her name? The the other girl that's in his cabinet, who's
Oh,
like
I don't
that.
know her name at all.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
know who
know
I'm
her name.
talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The girl
It's like
that
the
wants,
old lady, right?
yeah, the older lady with the curly hair. Um, I think she wanted to be deputy mayor. She wanted that promotion, and then Fisk like makes a comment, like a snarky comment about like it calls back to the earlier episode about the table. He's like, by the way, this table is from blah blah blah, and it was basically kind of like it was kind of like a poetic, not poetic. It was a smart jab, you know. It wasn't like
Mhm.
on the nose with it, but they did it in a very clever way. Be like, listen, you kind of took me as a joke. He doesn't take me as a joke. That's why he's getting promotion and you're not, you know? And I really liked how all that played out. And I feel like that's setting up something with her maybe in the next season turning on Fisk completely or something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I think Fist is absolutely petty. He's so petty to a point where he will like do anything just to get it, just to get back and just get at him, you know. And I'm like, yeah, no, this is definitely the Fist I signed up for. You know, this is the guy that is so menacing, but also like he's also like he's a child to to a degree. He's a child playing with toys, but this time his sandbox is literally the entire city of New York, and he has to make sure that he can work with that and work with it to the best of his ability and make it work for him while only making it work for him, you know. I feel like that's just the thing. He don't care about nobody else, and he's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna make it benefit for me still, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, yeah, no, I think that's an interesting thing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, Mayor Fisk or Mayor Kingpin is just really cool, and I like how they're weaponizing the task force, right? Like it's kind of like blackmail, you know. Especially he was like blackmailing these rich guys and all that. I think he blackmailed the what's his name, Tony Dalton, right? He blackmailed Swordsman, right? And then he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna expose you as a vigilante, and then once you're a vigilante and you're exposed, I could legally send my task force after you because we got that thing passed. So that's why I'm like, okay, you know, this guy's ruthless. He's using his mayor power to the best of its ability, and that's really fun to see.
Yeah. I 100% agree. Um yeah, I think that's pretty much all for episode 8, right? You have any more thoughts?
No, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent episode, and I can't wait for episode 9.
Yeah, episode 9, we'll talk about some of the predictions for that now. That's gonna be crazy. Um, so yeah, I would say, yeah, you gave it like 9.5. I give it 8.5,
Hmm.
just for like the inconsistencies and of the Netflix show and some things that I feel like could have been better here and there. But
Right.
yeah, so we'll talk about the season finale predictions. Uh yeah, what I'm gonna throw it off to you first again, unless you want me to go first. What do you think? Have any predictions at all? What you want to see from the finale? What you want to see wrapped up? Do you think that it's gonna stick the landing? What are your thoughts about all that?
Okay. Okay. Thank you for giving me the floor once again, and
Yeah,
I would say, I'm of course respecting Punisher. I think we're expecting Karen, right? I think Karen is inevitably gonna come back,
yeah,
right, in this episode. Um, I'm hoping, you know, I hope Punisher goes crazy on them on that task force. You know, I mean, they're using his skull as a symbol, and and Punisher's like, "Oh nah, what do y'all do? What is this? Get out of here!" And just start shooting him, and that'd
yeah,
be great. I think I'm hoping it's like a really dynamic fight, you know, and I'm hoping at least the visuals look great. I just hope. I'm just praying for it at that point, you know. Hoping pray. I'm just praying the visuals look great. And then I think Bullseye might have another. I mean, I hope his thing closes out in this episode, and then we see what it leads to in season 2. And Kingpin probably go crazy. And I heard that there's gonna be like a really like violent scene in this show, in this episode, in
really,
episode 9, where it's like literally like Kingpin has like a Mortal Kombat fatality where he does something so crazy. It's crazier than anything in the Netflix shows. And I'm like, huh, I wonder what
like
it's gonna do,
rip
you know?
somebody in half or something,
That's
like
what I'm
literal,
thinking. That's
like
what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh man, it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I
I don't
can't wait
know.
to see that fatality.
Oh yeah, I'm interested. I actually have a friend who told me, and he has like some, I don't think he has insider knowledge, but he
Oh,
definitely has like some knowledge, and that person like watched episode 9 already,
Ooh.
and then he told me something where it was just like it was a brief moment in the episode, but it's really violent, and it's like, oh, okay, I want to see what that looks like. I want to
Yeah.
see that because I mean, I kind of forgot kind of forgot that this is still on Disney, so it's still pretty shocking, right?
Yeah.
But I also think that it's Netflix. Well, I also think this is on this is Daredevil, and this is kind of what we're used to with the violence. But you
Yeah.
know, I feel
Mhm.
like I feel like for people who watch Disney, usually this would scare the shit out of them. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
blood! They said fuck. Holy shit! Oh, I forgot to mention, there's so many fucks in this show. I'm
I know,
like,
I kinda love
wow.
it.
They said so. Like, I think they've said more. There's only like one fuck in the original series. Like, I
Yeah.
think Frank said it, and then in this
He
show,
kinda says
Matt
it
said
though.
it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. Okay, that's
Yeah.
not bad. Okay, wait, my bad. That was a tangent.
What?
What
No, no,
else is
you're all
there?
good. What? Dude, keep going, this is
Okay.
great. I love
Yeah, awesome,
hearing your
awesome.
insight.
Yeah, thank you.
But
Let me see. Let me see.
yeah.
I'm trying to think what other stuff would be in that episode. I hope Bullseye has a thing. I hope we see what Vanessa tells Fisk, right? Because I think Fisk knows that he made a deal or she made a deal with Bullseye, but I just need to know why and
Mhm.
why now. So that's also a thing I want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm just hoping it's a great finale. It closes everything out. Oh yeah, I hope we see Muse come back to life because that was the most underwhelming death I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Holy hell,
Mhm.
that character was so like it was so underused and so underwhelming. I hope he's just alive and he's just alive with supernatural abilities at that point. Because I like fuck it, you're in the MCU, just go crazy with it. I don't even care if it's not grounded no more. Just embrace the fact that this dude's supernatural for some reason, and he's just going after Matt, right?
Yeah.
And I have
No.
a feeling he is still alive because no way he died that easy, bro. I'm coping at this point, bro. So if he isn't alive, bro, trust me, I'm gonna crash out. I'm like, dude, what is the point of Muse being in this season?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think it's all I got. What you got?
No, no, you're all good. You definitely made a lot of great predictions. It gave me a little bit insight too, so that should be interesting to see let some of that stuff play out. Some of the things you said. Um,
Hmm.
s- to break down some of the things you said though, like with the f bombs. Yeah, I do like how they're really going full throttle with that more than Netflix. I feel like sometimes it's a little forced, but sometimes it's like okay, that was good. Like tell Bullseye to go f himself. Like that
Right.
was that was good. Um,
Yeah, that's cathartic. I'm like, oh, Matthew, you wanted to say that, didn't you? You
Yeah,
wanted
it's
to say
therapy.
that.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, in the original series, I think I remember it was mainly coming from Frank. I think it said, from Foggy a few times, the F-bomb, but,
Mhm.
yeah, Frank said it a lot in his own show, and he kinda whispered it too, so it wasn't, like, outwardly, like, saying it all the time. So they really wanna emphasize, like, this is for adults with this show,
Mhm.
and,
Right.
yeah, we can talk about, like, all that stuff from, like, overall thoughts of the season so far, but, yeah, with a season finale predictions, I hope it wraps up good because I don't know about you. I just feel like there's a lot that needs to be explained. There's a lot that looks like is gonna happen. I know this is kind of like I know season 1 and 2 is kind of all one story. It's like all one season in a way that from what they were saying. Um, I just I I, I just don't know how we're gonna wrap everything up so good. I feel like it could
Mhm.
potentially be rushed. Plus, we know there's gonna be some sort of big Daredevil and Punisher fight scene against all these people. Like we see it in the trailer and the promotions. It's some sort of really big fight that's gonna happen. And also Matt gets shot. So
Mhm. Oh
how's
yeah, I
that?
forgot about that part.
Yeah, that was like the big cliffhanger. Like, oh no, we gotta see what
I
happens next. Yeah, so Matt
know.
gets shot. So how like I guess he'll just go to the hospital, get a few stitches, and be all good. But it's like what are the implications of that too? Because he stepped in front of Kingpin, and was Kingpin thinking of that? What is like was Vanessa gonna tell Fisk like what did she really do? Is Foggy really alive? Um,
Mhm.
why did Bullseye agree to kill Foggy specifically too? Maybe it ties to something with his case because Foggy did have a case that he won. Like he was celebrating because he knew he won his case. So maybe that's gonna tie something with that. That's why he specifically had to go. Um, and why didn't she just kill Matt? Or maybe he would have sensed it. I don't. Oh no, yeah, he would have sensed it. That's why in the like beginning of episode 1, that's why he had to run away because he would have heard the gun like the gun being ready. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No.
So
Definitely. I think he would have heard something.
yeah, so he had to kill Foggy, um, for some specific reason. Maybe it has something to do with his case. It has to tie with Vanessa. And maybe somehow he ends up being alive in all this, hopefully. But how I just wonder how this is all gonna because we only got an hour. Like if this was like 2 episodes, okay, but this is like we're gonna wrap all this up in an hour, you know?
Hmm.
It feels like a
Right.
lot to touch base upon, in my opinion. I don't know if you kind of feel
Yeah.
similar.
Oh yeah, definitely. I do feel the same way. And I feel like I did watch an episode, or not episode. I watched a review from 3C Films.
Yes. Yeah, I think I've
Yeah,
heard of
that
him.
guy. Yeah, yeah. He did a review on Born Again, and he watched the entire show. So he said like he said like it might fall into the same problem as like the other Disney Plus shows where
Oh no.
it sets up a lot, right? And then it just weaves in and bleeds into season 2, but it's not really like it's not really full on closure. And I have a feeling that might be true because have you seen a lot of the set leaks for season 2?
I saw one thing, or no, I saw two things. I don't know if I'm gonna say here just in case I don't want to spoil anyone, but I did
Right.
see. Uh, how can I describe it? I see something with Daredevil, and I see something
Mhm.
with Daredevil and another person.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
know what I'm
definitely.
talking about by that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, someone with red
Okay.
hair.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Those are the two things I
Yes.
saw, and
Yeah, and yeah, it's gonna be something.
yeah, I'm just really hoping it's all gonna wrap up in a nice little bow, but I guess from what you said, it's probably not. I just hope it's not gonna be like a Disney Plus finale where it's gonna be not good. I mean, I don't think
Yeah,
I've
that's what
liked
I'm
this.
praying, bro.
Yeah,
That's what I'm hoping it's not that case.
yeah, I think Loki season 2 was the only one that had, like, a good finale. Moon Knight's
Yeah.
finale was trash. She-Hulk's finale was just I don't even know. It was drugs. I think the writers were on drugs while writing that. Uh, well, what else was what else was there? Falcon and
Do we
Winter
consider
Soldier.
X-Men 97 part of the Disney Plus shows or no?
I kind of put the animated stuff separate because that's like a whole different team and
Hmm.
studio technically. I mean, it's not a new
Right.
studio, but it's like there's no Kevin Feige involvement. There's no execs. It's like it's an actual TV show,
Right.
honestly.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, that's
Friendly
why it
Neighborhood
feels a lot more.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. And because I say those shows always have great finales, right? Like, X-Men 97 had a great finale. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man had a pretty solid one too. So I'm
Yeah,
like, okay,
I agree.
I really like those ones. So I'm hoping it's the same way for Born Again. But I mean, I'm okay. If I were to bet money on it, though, if I were to bet money on it being a great
You're the
finale,
man.
would I be secure on that? Right? Because I mean,
Yeah,
I've heard great things. People say great things about the finale. I'm like,
yeah.
okay, that gives me hope. But I mean, is it though? I mean, will I like it? I'm a bet. Okay, I might bet. How much money would you bet if the finale was? Would you bet more money on the finale being good, or bet more money that the finale would be bad?
I bet more money that I I don't think it's gonna be bad, but I have a really bad feeling it's gonna feel rushed. It might be mid, like the rest of this season, in my opinion.
Mm,
Um,
mhm.
I don't know, because some people say it's like the best episode, and some people I haven't heard anything bad, but then again, I heard great things about this show, and I'm not really loving this show so far. So
Okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna bet like $5. I'll bet $5. Doesn't hit me too badly, but maybe I make a little extra some money. Like maybe I can buy something at
Right.
some snacks or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah,
okay, yay! It's
yeah,
actually good. Let's go.
yeah. I bet
Or if
five
it's
dollars that
bad.
it's gonna be good. What about you?
Okay. If I might bet $10 that it's good, but if it's bad, I might bet probably 15.
Oh
So I
wow,
bet I actually bet more money against it than for
yeah.
it. And I'm like, that's weird. But I feel like there's so. I mean, I mean, actually, no, that's a lie. Never mind. That's a lie. I'll change that. So $15 it's good. $10 is bad. You know. So
Yeah,
I used to get a profit, and when I like it, that means I get $5 in return. So I'm like, okay, it's not bad. You know. Like
yeah.
I hope it's not bad, and I think the creators for not the creators, directors for this episode for episode 8 are we're doing episode 9 too, and they could do the rest of the season 2. So yeah,
The
I
rest
feel
of
like
season
it's really
2.
prop. I think so. Yeah, they're gonna do. I don't. I think they're doing the rest or all of season 2. I'm not
Yeah,
entirely sure.
all the you're talking about the directors and the writers right now, right? The new creative team.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, they're
and I
doing.
think
Yeah,
yeah, Benson and more.
yeah, they're doing all of season 2.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that gives you hope, and I feel like this episode is really indicative of that. So if that's the case for episode 9, and my friend told me that this episode might be the best episode of the Disney Plus shows. So I'm
Oh,
like, okay, I think I'm praying on that. Well, not the best episode, but the best finale of the Disney Plus shows. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I'm hoping because, I don't want Daredevil to get a mid finale. I feel like that'd be a terrible way to go to start your revival show, because
yeah,
the revival, like, I'll say this about this show. It's a revival, but more like a soft reboot until season 2 comes in, and that's when it becomes a true revival of the show. Because right now
yeah,
it's like a soft reboot. That's how I see it.
yeah. It's like it's a continuation, but it's also doing its own thing, and you can see the
Hmm.
soft reboot elements, but then you can also see the Netflix elements. It's like a mixture of either way. It's just a continuation but it's new. It's a
Hmm.
continuation, but it's doing
Yeah.
something new,
Yeah, definitely.
for
And I
better
feel
or for
like
worse.
oh yeah, and I think that's why people should. If people were to head into the show with the same expectations for the Netflix show, I feel like you were gonna be disappointed by that, because
That's
it's
me.
not the Netflix show, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's like because we kind of expected like the standard Daredevil flair where Matt is not in his existential crisis 24/7, and then we have him fighting and kicking ass like normal, For the most part, the show's very I would say I wouldn't say it's slow, but there are moments that are slow, and then it's mostly just Matt, right? And it's Matt only because it's basically Matt and Fisk, because everyone else around them are kind of like they're not like big players. Like Fisk has Vanessa, but Matt basically has nobody that's fleshed out. Like no character around him is fleshed out, and I feel like that's a purpose to that. But that's why it's so jarring for us to watch this show because we start off the show with knowing the people we like, and then next they're all gone, and then now we're in a whole new show. And I feel like the show we were advertised isn't the show that we expected because this isn't season 4. This feels like a completely different new show that just got connected to a previous show just because they wanted to make it and connect it that way.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Yeah, it's not exactly a season 4.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, we'll see. It's I don't know where we were talking about like predictions for this episode. I forgot what we were talking about for this.
No, you're all
Um,
good. No, yeah,
yeah,
I love the passion. I love like all the thoughts. It's like it makes it's nice hearing another perspective other than my own, and it's like I'm learning. I'm learning
yeah, no, I appreciate that.
seeing the other views and stuff. But no, yeah, I agree with a lot what you're saying. You're just spitting nothing but facts right now. I'm just letting you spit.
All right, thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
but
I feel like that's it. Yeah, I don't think of any other predictions for this episode or for episode 9.
yeah, yeah, me either. I think that pretty much covers everything for episode 9. Let's just hope it ends well. It just has a lot
All
to
right,
wrap up, but it looks like it might not. And I expect there's gonna be a big action scene, and I'm hoping Foggy's still alive. And uh, is anything else? I have one prediction. I have one prediction. I think that's gonna happen. Um, in the finale. Spoilers. I'm gonna say it because I just we don't even know if it's really gonna happen, but it's a potential spoiler for anyone that's watching right now. I think in the finale, that I have a feeling Matt's identity might be revealed. That's
oh,
I have that as a prediction.
I get what you mean. I get that.
Yeah, I feel like that might happen, or something big's gonna happen in the finale because it has to. It's like something's
Right.
gonna lead over into season 2, and we're gonna have like a Defenders 2.0 type of thing. I think with season 2. Um, yeah, we can actually talk about like next season predictions, which I think we kind of covered it here. But I honestly think next season is gonna be like a Defenders type of season, but with Daredevil as the lead. It's like all
Oh
these
yeah.
street level heroes going up against Fisk, and you're gonna have like swordsmen. Hopefully the Netflix Defenders, including Luke Cage and Iron Fist. I think Jessica Jones is going to return.
Hmm.
I like Luke Cage and Iron Fist. People who's watching, you come at me. I'm a defender of Iron Fist. Like, especially season 2. Season 2 was lit. Like, that's
Yeah.
true. Season 2 was fire, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and Finn Jones deserves another chance. Uh, but yeah, no, I think it's gonna be a Defenders type of season. That's something that has to wrap up in the finale too. Is White Tiger. See, this is like a lot that they're gonna have to do in
I
the
forget about
finale.
White Tiger. Rest in peace, man. That character's
Yeah.
cool, and then they killed him. I'm like, oh,
Well, yeah, it
that
happens in the
sucks.
comics, and then I think they might have killed him because the actor died in real life, but also in the comics he dies, and then not the daughter, the niece or
Oh yeah,
whatever.
the daughter has to take up the mantle or something.
Yeah, she's gonna end up taking the mantle because it happens in the
Yeah.
comics, but they did not set that
Yeah.
up well at all. Maybe it had something to do with real life things again. It's like it's a shame that the actor passed so soon. But yeah, I think White Tiger might be in the mix for the Defenders 2.0, maybe the OG Punisher next season. And no Spider-Man because we can't get him on the TV side of things. Well, I'm
Oh
hoping,
yeah. No
yeah, but
way. I don't think we ever get that.
no, maybe Sony. I mean, Sony allows them on the movie, so maybe they can allow them on TV too. But I'm hoping that we can get all this, like whatever happens in Born Again season 2, maybe it can somehow lead to something with Spider-Man 5. Um, because I think we need to see Kingpin go up against Spider-Man, even though Vincent D'Onofrio said himself there's issues with making that happen. I think Marvel wants to make that happen, and they should. I think maybe all this stuff from season 2 of Born Again can lead to like a Spider-Man 5, where you got all these street level heroes going up against Fisk, and that's like the ending of the Fisk storyline for good. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That
definitely. I feel like we need Spider-Man to go against. I mean, I always think Daredevil is going to be the one who cops off Fisk, but I
yeah,
feel like Spider-Man should at least get a blow at him, because in the
absolutely.
comics they're technically Fisk started off with Spider-Man and then he branched off to Daredevil, and now he's just more known for Daredevil now. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I get that, but I kind of miss the banter with Spider-Man and a crime boss. I think we haven't had that in a minute, especially with the movies, because I mean, I'm gonna think about it this way. Homecoming, it just had Vulture. Um, Far From Home, it was Mysterio, not a crime boss. And what's it called? 3 is Green Goblin. I miss the crime boss element. Because Fisk. Well, yeah, having Fisk or like a Tombstone. I feel like we're
Tombstone, yeah.
missing that void with Peter Parker. I feel like we need that. And I don't know. I mean, we'll get into that with the predictions for Spider-Man 4, and we'll see what that happens. But I feel like right now we need at least a crime boss presence with Spider-Man. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely would love to see that with Kingpin, and I think that I mean, I know for not to like go into like my own fan fiction and my own
Hmm.
writing stuff, but like I have like a whole bunch of scenarios that I've wrote scenes for because I'm like sometimes in class and I'm bored. Instead of writing notes, I
I
like
get you,
write
bro.
like I write stuff for scripts or I write like movie scenes or TV scenes I can picture in my head. And I just think there's so much potential with Kingpin messing up Peter's life in such like catastrophic, damaging ways. Like I feel like Kingpin can do some serious emotional damage to poor Peter Parker, and it'll be so brutal, but it'll be such great like storytelling, especially seeing Tom Holland going up against Vincent D'Onofrio, two really great actors. Plus, you add Charlie Cox into the mix. Like, there's just a lot of great stuff we can have with that. With I think for Spider-Man 5, should really be like pure street level after Doomsday or whatever happens with that. Um, yeah, there's just a lot of potential in my opinion, and hopefully they can make that happen with like a Spider-Man 5 or heck even a Spider-Man 6.
Amen. Yeah,
And
definitely. That's
yeah, oh
definitely one
sorry.
thing I would agree. No, you're good. Yeah, and I'd say we miss. Yeah, I don't
The
know where I'm going with this, but yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's
I
Peter
just
going
miss
up
that
against
type of
that
stuff.
crime boss person.
Right.
We
Yeah.
kinda saw that in
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2018 though. I mean, sorry,
Yeah.
video game. Did you ever play a video game? Spider-Man video game?
I saw this. I saw the story. I was watching the story mode of it.
You haven't played the game?
No, bro.
Oh,
I've
bro.
been meaning to watch. I've been
No.
meaning to play Marvel Rivals, bro.
I
But
haven't even
nah,
played that.
I haven't played. I don't play games, bro. I don't play video games, man. I'm
Oh.
unhealthy, bro.
Oh,
It's too
no,
unhealthy
you're
for me.
hey, it's not for everybody, that's for sure, but I would say,
Yeah.
though, I mean, that's good that you at least saw the story mode version. It's such a amazing game. It's one of my all-time favorites, and the story
Right.
hits. Like, that's, like, the one of the best, if not the best version of Spider-Man we've ever seen. It's, like, right up there with Spectacular. Um, but, yeah,
Oh
sorry,
yeah.
I'm going off
No, you're
topic, but no,
okay. Well, that was the one with Yuri. That's the one with Yuri Lowenthal, right?
yeah, the GOAT as Spider-Man, in my opinion. He's
Yeah.
the GOAT
I
for me.
respect that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I respect it.
Ben 10, young Superman from Legion of Superheroes. Now he's Spider-Man.
Yeah. I get that. That's respect. That's respect.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, though, yeah, that's just my prediction for the next season of Born Again. I think it's gonna lead into the Defenders 2.0, and then I think it'll lead into like a Spider-Man 5 or 6.
Oh
That's
yeah,
just
definitely.
that's just my prediction. And
Yeah.
yeah, so we can just talk about the season, what we think as a whole so far.
Mhm.
We can give a grade to it if we think it lived up to the hype, if it disappointed, if it's just mid or great or bad,
Mhm.
whatever. Do you want me to go first this time since I've given it to you each
Yeah,
time?
you
Yeah,
got it. Yeah,
okay.
you got it.
No, no, I don't know if you're the guest, so I wanted to give you the floor, but
Yeah,
I don't want to
absolutely.
keep overwhelming you with that.
No, you're
Um,
okay.
yeah, but I'm gonna so yeah, I would say my overall thoughts of the season. It there's some great moments. There's some good moments, there's some mid moments, there's some bad moments, and then there's some moments I wanna rip my hair out. That that's my overall it's a roller coaster. This season's been a roller coaster, and I know a lot of people are going in many different directions with it. There's just a lot to point out that there's good and bad and in between, and things that just doesn't make sense for what the characters did in Netflix, in my opinion. And visually, it's such a downgrade. The CGI stuff is. I know the original showrunner from season 1 said if he had the budget, he would make Daredevil more acrobatic. You can make Daredevil acrobatic without CGI. Do people not realize that? Like, there's something called wires. Like people have been using it for years.
Yeah.
you know, Even in the OG MCU movies, not everything was like fighting CGI. Like people in the OG MCU movies were on wires. Thor. He was flying around in that movie. He was on wires, like
Mhm.
you can make Daredevil acrobatic and swing around without having him be CGI while doing it. It just feels so what's the word? Not cheap, but it's lazy, I guess, in a way.
Mhm.
It looks less real. Makes him look like
Yeah,
a
I get
rubber
that.
figure from The Flash, the CW TV show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
um
definitely. I
so
get
yeah.
that.
Um what are your thoughts? Like, what would you say is a good, bad? I'll also give it a grade real quick. I'm gonna give it like
Yeah.
so far. I think even if the finale is great, there's so much mid and bad stuff in here. I think it's like a 7 out of 10.
Okay. I
It's
honestly, I thought that's a lot higher than I expected for you.
yeah. I was leaning towards a 6.5 out of 10, but I think there's some potential here,
Mhm.
and you know, there was some really great moments, especially with like Punisher and Daredevil in episode 4. It kind of was like a sequel scene to the rooftop scene, and I really do appreciate this that they're taking its world seriously, even though there's bad writing and bad crap and weird stuff going on. There isn't some goofy, except in episode 5, there isn't like goofy forced humor MCU jokes that I can't stand anymore. Like I'm so over oh, we're in the middle of a fight and then or something serious is happening. It's like, oh, look at me, my shoes untied. So funny. It's like I'm so over that kind of MCU jokey humor, and it's like every project has that now. Even in Secret Invasion, which was so, and Moon Knight like had that humor too that drove me crazy. Moon Knight should have had the Daredevil Born Again treatment. Like
Mhm.
like for real. I remember one scene in Moon Knight where he's like driving in an ice cream truck, and it's like the stupidest, corniest crap I've ever seen. And it's like, really, we're doing we're doing an ice cream truck joke or whatever. Like, what is this? Are we three? Sorry.
You're okay. You
No,
need to
yeah,
release that out, bro.
that was a little tangent of mine, but
Yeah, I
yeah. So
respect it.
no, yeah. So we got a comment. Oh, we'll read the comment after. Um, yeah, I would just say that it's a 7 out of 10, and if we're ranking the Netflix seasons, it's like the third worst in my opinion out of all the Netflix seasons. So I guess that's a little
Okay.
lower, because I think almost every Netflix season is like a 7.5 to a 10 out of 10. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, what are you? I'll just read this comment first from the
Yeah, let's do
Incredible
that.
Zay. Thank you, really much appreciated for your comment, and thank you for everybody that's been tuning into the stream. I've seen the numbers go up to like 6 to 3, and it's really incredible for the support. Incredible Zay
Absolutely.
says Spider-Man is definitely going to show up in Daredevil Born Again. I hope you're right. I would lose my mind. Like I probably bump the
Yeah.
season up to a 7.5 if we get to see Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher interacting. That's like that would make my brain melt. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
um,
oh,
that would
that's
be
the
so
dream,
sick.
dude. Ah,
Yo,
man.
see,
I want what he has. I want what he's having, man. I want that dream.
yeah, bro. Yeah, Incredible Zay. I hope you are right, and if you're right, then um, you'll be known forever on this channel as being correct.
Yeah,
uh,
we'll send you $5.
Yeah, we'll send you $5 maybe. Appreciate your comment, Incredible Zay. Oh, Sony needs the money. Yes,
Oh,
yeah, they definitely do. They're at Fox Studios levels of bankrupt right now, especially with all those Sony Marvel movies that every single time they've lost millions, and
oh yeah.
they're so stubborn with those movies that they don't realize how bad they are, essentially. Um,
Yeah,
So yeah, appreciate your comment once again, the Incredible Zay. Appreciate you.
yeah,
So
definitely.
Real Hooper, what would you say, like, to start off talking about the season as a whole? What would you like give it, like, good, bad, middle, mid, and all that?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll first off want to address like the CGI stuff. I feel
Yeah,
like what you were saying, like I actually like I understand what the CGI problems, right? Like,
yeah,
I think the thing about people with CGI is like when they notice the bad CGI, it's bad CGI. You just can't
yeah,
see it no more, right? And I
yeah,
feel like if it were great CGI, which this isn't whatsoever, then we would have noticed it and we'd just be like, okay, like I think great CGI goes unnoticed, and that's what is so great about it because
hmm,
it's supposed to be a part of the it's supposed to be a part of the realism. It makes it great, and I feel like with this show they really rushed them, and I feel like that's why it feels so like ass, like it doesn't fit because it's
yeah,
like frankly speaking, it's not like how She-Hulk, right, in his scenes, in Daredevil scenes, he was acrobatic, but it looked pretty good CGI. It wasn't. I didn't think about it. I'm like, okay, he's going crazy. That's nice. And I feel like that's what is missing with the show is the
yeah,
CGI is just not done well. It's just not done well. They rushed it, and I mean, I pray for all those VFX artists because man, they be going through hell over there, man. So yeah, they just needed a timeline, and I feel like the overhaul didn't help them at all.
yeah,
It just made them rush it faster. So I'm like, yeah, they probably just need to really polish that up next season and make those swinging scenes a lot better. Because I mean, I'd love to see more Daredevil swinging, and I feel like there's a reason why we don't see much Daredevil swinging because the CGI is rushed so badly. So
yeah,
that's why I'm like, yeah, that's one thing I would say is that for my mid, my bad, my good and great tiers. Okay, so let me dissect them here. So my
yeah,
like the bad stuff, I'd say the new core characters are basically nothing. There's nothing to these characters.
yeah,
And I feel like there's a reason to that, but it's still not fun to watch them. I'm like, get the fuck off the screen. I don't want to watch you. You're
yeah.
so Cherry.
Boring.
I don't remember watching you. I watched Daredevil for Daredevil, not for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And then
Foggy and
Kristen
Karen.
McDuffie, yeah, the Foggy and Karen replacements. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's kind of what they are, and I'm like, that's
yeah,
great, and I understand that, but also no, you suck. So that's one thing.
yeah,
For the mid stuff, I'd say the mid stuff is genuinely the visuals, but I'd lean more bad. But I'd say like because the great stuff are there's great visuals here because like you can say with especially when Benson and Moore direct their episodes, you can tell they directed it because it's a lot more methodical, a lot more purposeful, right? And like episode 8 is a pinnacle of what this show could look like, you know, like what it should like look like to a degree. Like I don't like it looking kind of flat at some points. I wish there was
Yeah,
more contrast, but
me
other
too.
than that, I like the overall. I like the style and I like the cinematography and how the camera moves, so that's great. But then there's also like some ass looking scenes, and I'm like, where is the color grading? Where is it? And where's the editing? Like, who the fuck edited this action scene? I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
episode 2 wasn't as bad. Like, you could tell the cutting was kind of aggressive for
Mm, yeah.
episode two's ending fight, but it wasn't as bad as episode seven's Muse fight. So yeah, it was definitely it's a mixed bag with the visuals, right?
Yeah.
And then okay, let me think of the good stuff because there's a lot of good stuff, right? It's the character writing for the main characters we focus on, like Fisk, Matt, and it's great to see all these other like supporting characters from Netflix come in here. That's great, and I just like how they've written these characters. They feel really human, like Matt for his most part. Like I understand why with his scenes feel very jarring because it's new people, it's new areas. His entire apartment, his entire life is changed, you know? That's why his apartment is not the same in as it was in Hell's Kitchen because he moved out. He's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. No way I'm living in Hell's Kitchen again.
Yeah, no.
Right? Yeah. And
Yeah, you
I
have the
mean
money to,
obviously he
like,
wouldn't.
upgrade.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like he moved out because what's the point of staying at Hell's Kitchen if there's no Foggy, right? Like, what's the
Yeah.
point?
Yeah,
And that's the thing that's
exactly.
so sad. Yeah. I will say, though, it is kind of awkward. I mean, I understand why he hasn't been to church, right? Because, I mean, you know, he is kind of having the spiritual crisis once again. So
Yeah.
I feel like I wish we got more of those church scenes, though, because, I mean, church is really like his entire
Important.
religion, right? It's really
Yeah.
important. And I feel like I wish we got more of that in this show. You know, I wish we got a more of an exploration into his mentality and how he uses religion to like come like how do you use that to cope with loss, you know? Because that's the thing that's like a big factor with Matt. It's like the loss that he always feels. He this time he like Karen left and Foggy's gone. And that's why like how do you use that religion to cope with that or even use it at all to cope? And I feel like that's the thing that isn't explored enough in the show, his beliefs. And I feel like I wanted more of that. Because I don't even think religion is even that big of a thing in season 2 of Daredevil in the
No.
Netflix show, but
Yeah, not really.
it's his beliefs, it's morality. That's what he stood by, and that's what it's really focused on. And I feel like we were missing that, you know, to a certain extent. Because now Matt, I mean, Matt for the most part, I mean, it's underlying, but it's not explored to its fullest potential. You know, I can respect that there's an underlying factor to the religious side. There's an underlying factor to his morals and his beliefs. But I wish there was more of that explored. Like I want to get those discussions like it was with Punisher and Daredevil. You know, I love seeing those discussions because we get to
Me
see the
too.
mind, how their mind is processing everything. You know, like that's the first time we hear Matt talk about Foggy, right? And I feel like those are the best. Those are the best scenes. It's the discussions, and it's all about why is this person the way he is, and why is Matt trying to how is he coping with losing so much, right? And how do you
Yeah.
live with that, you know? And I think that's what's brilliant about that episode, and that scene is awesome. But I wish we got more of that because I feel like that's what's necessary for the show, and that's what's going to fill the padding, especially if there's no fight scenes, right? I just want more interesting discussions about what makes these characters tick and what makes these characters, you know, truly them, you know, and why they are the way they are. And I don't think we get more of that. And we're just talking with some mid ass characters. I'm like, I don't want to talk to Kristen McDuffie again, dude. Please, not Cherry, for the love of
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. I'm
Yes,
so over
it's
those
that type of
characters.
stuff.
It's just a waste of
Yeah,
time. No, yeah,
I'm
you
hoping that we get him back. I hope we get
They're
the main characters back,
yeah.
like Brett Mahoney. I hope he gets back somehow. You know?
Yeah, 100%. The new
Yeah.
characters are just placeholders for Foggy and Karen for no reason. They don't this could have easily just been Karen and Foggy, and we would have actually cared. Like, we don't even need to explore much with them. I mean, it would be great, but, with these guys, you're not exploring anything with them, and they're just kinda there, but with Karen and Foggy, they're actual characters from
Yeah.
Netflix Daredevil, like, they're f fully
Exactly.
fleshed out characters that when they do interact with Matt, we would actually care. And for some reason, I don't know. It's just
Exactly.
this
Exactly.
isn't what they decided to do. But no,
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely.
to break down some of the points you said. Well, I'm gonna respond to this comment first from the Incredible Zay,
Yeah.
and I'll
Go
break down
for it.
some of the stuff he said. Appreciate once again for your comment. What do you guys think about Marvel's Punisher show? I don't know if you're talking about. Oh, thanks again for your comment, Incredible Zay. All the comments are very much appreciated, along with the questions everybody asked,
Amen.
and the love and all the support. um, I don't know
Amen.
if you're talking about the Netflix Punisher or the new Punisher special coming up. Um, Marvel's Netflix Punisher is one of the greatest superhero shows of all time, especially season one. It was really great, and I like season two. I would say like season one's like a 9.5 out of 10, 9.5,
Right.
and season two is like an 8 out of 10. Both
Hmm.
really great seasons. I feel like the best version we've seen from Punisher was from Daredevil season two, but he was still great in his own show. And I'm
Right.
excited what they're gonna do with this Punisher special. John Bernthal is gonna be help writing the episode. John Bernthal is an incredible actor. He's an incredible Punisher. Um,
Oh, absolutely. He's my
like,
favorite.
and
One of my
yeah,
favorites.
Emmy-winning performances every time we see him, and
Yeah.
it feels like a really real performance. It feels like an actor really giving his heart and soul, and it's what all the Netflix actors I felt like did. A lot of the MCU actors, more recently at least, they kind of just play themselves and, oh, look at me, I'm funny, haha. But these guys are like serious. Like, these guys are real. I feel like I'm watching real people with real characters put into this superhero world, and John Bernthal really shows that a lot of the times, and um yeah, I can't wait for his Punisher special. What are your thoughts about Punisher and the special that's coming up?
Oh,
Or
okay. So I love season one of Punisher. I really do. I think it's really underrated and kind of under the radar, to be honest, because I don't
really?
think many people don't talk. I don't see many like video essays talking about Punisher.
Oh,
Like I always see a lot of like people talking about Daredevil, and I respect that, right? But
yeah.
Punisher season one is pretty solid. I feel like story wise, it's really well
It's
done.
really good. Yeah.
Right, and the violence, holy shit. That
Yes.
shit is it's not even like it's not like gory to where like how The Boys and Invincible is gory, right? But it's just
Yeah.
it's hard to watch. Like, oh
Yeah.
my
It's
goodness, what
brutal,
in the
and it's the
world?
emotion behind it too.
Right.
For
And
the
Bernthal
emotion. Yeah.
kills that, he's just his performance is so convincing, and that's what really gets us there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he really puts like, when he throws punches, when he kills, it's for real. Like in
Mhm.
Punisher, especially, and in Punisher season 2 too. In 2 too.
Oh.
As well. Like, yeah, he John Bernthal kills it every single time. And
Oh,
did you like
yeah.
Punisher season 2?
Yeah, I don't think about it as much, to be honest.
Oh,
I thought season one was a perfect way to
yeah.
just, yeah, we don't need to see this character for a while. That's a perfect way to do it. Season two just felt like kind of tacked on. I don't think it is as necessary, but it was still solid, just not
Yeah.
as necessary to me.
That's fair.
And yeah, definitely. And I think that's why that presentation, that special presentation we're gonna get, that's gonna be really cool because it's like condensed, so we get to see like a lot more Punisher action. But I hope we get the more psychology, and like I that's what I really enjoyed about the first season of Punisher, where it really
Yeah.
focused on the psychological like turmoil of this guy, the guy who lost everything, and so in return he's gonna burn the world down to make sure, or burn all the criminals and all that to a crisp, just to make sure they feel the same way as he did. So that's why I'm like, okay, I hope we get that exploration more, especially in the MCU where he just goes ham. I want to see Punisher in the MCU, and I want to see John Bernthal's like performance just go wild because I love
Yeah.
his performances always, bro. This dude's one of my favorite actors, and yeah, this dude always steals the scene every time he's in a when every time ever whenever he's anything, man. I don't want to sound like a glazer because I am probably glazing as hell, but
No, you're
I
good.
mean, yeah, he's definitely like he's awesome. He's one of the best performers out there, and I think he brings that catharsis that we needed, and that's why in episode 4 of Born Again, that's what really caught my eye. It's that realness. Like he jumped back in that role like nothing changed. Like it was no adjustment whatsoever. It felt like Punisher, and that's why I'm so excited for that presentation because it's literally like I could buy both. I could buy a Bernthal coming back and being the same as he was, and it was just awesome. So that's why
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that too.
Yeah, 100% agreed. And it's awesome just seeing both Charlie Cox and John Bernthal just go right back to Daredevil season 2 in that scene. And I hope we get a scene like this in with them, like with like a conversation with Daredevil, Punisher, and Spider-Man at some point on this big screen or little
Oh
screen.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
yeah, but yeah, made a lot of great points with Punisher. I'll just break down some of the stuff that you said about Born Again as a whole. Oh, I'll
Right.
read Incredible Zay's. Appreciate your comment, Incredible Zay. I hope Heather dies soon in Daredevil Born Again. She is annoying. Yeah, I guess a lot of people find her annoying. I actually found her character. I appreciate your comment, Incredible Zay. I found her pretty interesting in episode 8, but maybe I'm guess in the minority. I finally found her character to be a bit more compelling, even though it's a little
Yeah,
tropey with the whole, oh, you're a vigilante. I don't like vigilantes, and you're secretly one. So we're gonna have conflict later on, butting heads, boo boo boo. But it's still more interesting than what they have been doing with her. Um,
yeah. That's a
but
funny comment. That's a
yeah,
funny comment.
yeah. Thank you, Incredible Day. It was thank you for bringing some laughter onto the stream. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'll just say with starting with the CGI stuff. I or not the CGI. Um, you were just basically well with the CGI stuff. I was just gonna say that I still kind of disagree a little bit, but I understand where
Mhm.
you're coming from with a lot of that stuff. Even I don't know, even if it looked real, it's just like I don't know. Do you feel like they could just do wires? Or you think they really need the CGI for the acrobatic stuff? Or
I feel like they needed the. I think they needed the CGI based on time constraints, because I don't think they could have afforded to do the wire stuff also while like beyond the time and deadlines, And
yeah,
I feel like that's the thing that also killed the CGI in the process because of the deadlines and the rushed nature of this business. So that's one thing for sure.
yes, yeah, yeah, that's understandable. Um, yeah, what was I gonna say? Uh, yeah, with the CGI, you saw talked about that, and then, yeah, and you were basically saying like, there's like really great things, bad things with Born Again as well, right?
Yeah, I feel like the thing that was like the great I think I missed the touching on the great part, but the great part of this entire show has been the soundtrack. I feel like
Yeah,
the funny part is like I was not going to be used to the songs, like the licensed songs and licensed music. That was kind of jarring to me at first. I'm like, I never thought this would work for Daredevil, but it kind of does. And then like especially last episode where we got more licensed music, but it fits for the character and actually low key fits the entire vibe of the show, which I actually have more respect for the balls to even try to. They mixed in a soundtrack while also having licensed music. I feel like that actually worked a ton, and it really works and helps build that atmosphere so well. I
yeah,
love it that main theme just swells up. Especially when Matt was coming back, when he came back as Daredevil for that moment, I'm like, oh man, that was
yeah,
cathartic. That was awesome. So
yeah.
that scene, that's yummy. That was so awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. It's yeah, there's the music has really been something, and it feels like Netflix music sometimes. The only stuff I don't like is I think you said you said you liked it, but like some of the um
Licensed music.
yeah, some of that I'm not really digging. Most especially at the end of episode 2, I was like, what the heck? But
I
yeah, so
get
I
that
feel like
one.
in episode 8, I think there was licensed music in the beginning from what I remember correctly. I remember
Right.
the beginning, the music working in episode 8. Um, But yeah, no, and when we hear the main Daredevil theme when he's kicking ass, that it always hits
Mhm.
every time.
Every time. I need to have that as my main workout that's my main workout theme now, man. Just go,
Yeah.
"Woo, woo, 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 woo,
Yeah, like,
woo."
puts you into, like, the mind of Daredevil. The Incredible
Dude.
Dave says, Heather's gonna be another Amber. Uh, Possibly.
No! I
Maybe.
wouldn't say another Amber.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
People seem like they're really, trashing her. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely I think more like another not Mary Jane because she's not a damsel in distress, but it's like, someone that's just, like, annoying and doesn't make much sense sometimes, maybe.
Right.
More like Mary
Yeah.
Jane from the Raimi movies. I can't stand her. I can't stand her, like, mm-mm. No, no. Um,
I get that.
but, yeah, I would just say with, Born Again to wrap up my overall thoughts. Oh, what grade did you give it? A number grade for Born
Oh,
Again season 1?
even if okay, best case scenario, if finale lands at all, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10,
Okay.
the entire show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if the finale flops it, I feel like it might go down to 7.5.
Oh, okay. That's cool. What would you say it's like in the middle of the Netflix seasons or like on the upper end or the lower end? I think it's
Um,
on the lower end, honestly. I think it's the third best Netflix season, I would
I
say,
feel
as
like
of right now.
it might be the weak. It's not the weakest. I don't know. I think it's tied with no, it might be weaker than Daredevil season 2. I won't lie.
Ooh, oh,
Okay, it
weaker.
might
It is weak. Oh,
might
yeah,
be.
okay, yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. I think it's weaker than season 2 by a
Wait, so do you
mile.
think that means it's the weakest season of Daredevil? Would you
Oh,
say
yeah,
that?
1,000,000%.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, in
There you
my
go.
opinion. That's just my
Yeah,
opinion,
yeah,
though.
definitely. Because I feel like okay, if I were to look at shows and if I were to look at like episodes I would rewatch in this show, there's like a couple episodes I rewatched, right? But
Mm,
in like the previous seasons, like in season 3, there's like 5, 10 episodes I'd love to rewatch in season 3. In season 1, there's like 5 to 7 episodes I love to rewatch. In season 2, even the weakest season in Netflix, right? There's still episodes I love to rewatch. You know, I love to watch the Punisher episodes, the episode 3 and 4. Those are masterful. And
yeah,
then and then the stuff with Elektra, that stuff kind of gets bogged down, but I love Elektra, so I'll
yeah.
watch some of that stuff too. So yeah,
Mm.
I'm really conflicted with that. So I feel like this season, there's stuff like the show is not rewatchable, like not as
No, it really
watchable to
isn't.
me as it was
Yeah.
is the Netflix show. So yeah, that's how I kind of grade things is based off if I watch it again and enjoy myself again, you know? I just don't
Yeah.
think I would probably off like first watch it was all right, but I don't think there's many episodes I rewatch again, you know? There's certain
Mhm.
scenes I would, but not the
Yes,
entire show,
I
right?
yeah, I 1,000,000% agree. There's, like I don't think I wanna I have rewatched scenes already. I've rewatched the episode 6 fight,
Mhm.
and the Punisher and Daredevil scene I've seen so many times. I made a whole video about it, so that scene's, like, basically ingrained into my brain now. Um, but yeah, I agree. I actually season 2 gets a lot of hate in my opinion. This is just me. Anybody that's gonna hate
Mhm.
on it, whatever. I think
Mhm.
season 2 is better than season 1 in my
What?
opinion. Yeah, okay,
Oh,
before I'll just
I'm just
say
kidding. I'm just
okay.
kidding. I'm just
No,
kidding.
no, you're all good. No, I think the Punisher and Daredevil stuff I found so interesting. The
Mhm.
writing is so real, and every time they're on scene together, it's magic. I just love it. It gives me goosebumps. There's so many iconic stuff, even in like all the way in the end in the final episode. The Electra stuff I felt like was done pretty well. Um, in my opinion, I feel like it was like kinda like Punisher, someone that but she's, like, psychotic. She isn't just, like, has a morality, like, "I wanna
Right.
kill all the bad guys." She's just like, "Yo, Matt, kill your dad's killer, like, do it. Do it for me.
Do
If
it.
you don't do it,
Do
you
it.
don't understand me." It's like, "Holy crap, dude, like, you gotta get her straight." She's
There's
crazy.
toxic ex-girlfriends and then there's Electra. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, that is so toxic, but I need her so bad. So I'm
Yeah.
conflicted.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just I felt like it all wrapped up in a really great way in season 2. The stuff with the hand was kinda um a little strange in season 2, but I just felt like there's so many strong moments, and it wrapped up really well, and the ending was great with him revealing his identity, Karen, and the flashbacks. It's just I don't know. I really love season 2, and the season 3 is the best. I feel like
Oh yeah.
each season got better. I give like all 3 seasons like in the 90s. They're all like 9, 10 out of 10, 9 out of
Hmm.
10. You know, I think all 3 seasons I'd give like a 10 out of 10 basically.
I get that.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but then Born Again is just a 7 out of 10.
I think just
Barely.
because, yeah, it's trying to adjust itself, and that's why it's like a Frankenstein's monster. That's why it's so weird for us to watch because we expected season 4, but it isn't season 4. So it's
Yeah.
just like, oh. And I think with the thing about season 2 that was so special is because like the dialogue, like I know like in episode 8 of Born Again, dialogue was absolutely perfection. Like I
Yeah.
loved all the dialogue there. But
Yeah,
in
me too.
season 2, man, like there are some quotes I love when like he goes to the pastor, he goes to his priest, he goes to his pastor, he always talking
Yeah.
it out with him. We get like some banger quotes, get some banger dialogue, and it's just
Yeah.
really it really explores all these characters really well, and like even in the last part of season 2 where we have like the hand and all that. I still think the hand was done better in season 2 than it was in Defenders. I think there's a lot more
Yeah.
mystery, and there's more mysterious aura to them that helped them a lot more than it did in Defenders, where it just made them look so ass. I'm like, okay, I don't give a fuck. And then yeah, now we're in season 2. I'm like, okay, there's something. I don't care still, but at least there's something. So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that's what cements these seasons a little higher than the Disney Plus stuff. Because I mean, no diss to the showrunners originally, but I mean, you can tell that it just felt like they were trying to do their own thing, and it just fell flat on its ass. So then they brought it back, and that's why there's evidence. The crumbs from the previous stuff it leaked into the new stuff, and it kind of makes this kind of a weird ship that you're trying to ride both, but you can't. So now it just feels unbalanced, and that's why I feel like Born Again's the weakest, because it feels the most unbalanced because of all the moving parts, and just yeah, it's just not the one I rewatch the most. If I
No.
were to die tomorrow and I had a season of a season or an episode I would watch,
Yeah.
I'd still rewatch episode 6 of season 3, where it's the bullseye fight. Man,
Mhm.
I'd rewatch that. Man, that's my favorite. That's my favorite for sure.
Of all Daredevils, episode 6 in season 3?
I think so. Other than that, it might be the rooftop talk with Punisher. Those are
Alright.
the two. Those are the two I definitely rewatch.
That's awesome. Yeah, I would say, season 3 finale might be my favorite. I
Oh, the
just
finale
everything
was
it's like, "You don't get
yeah.
to destroy who I am.
Oh
I beat you."
yes.
It's so satisfying every time, and
Mm-hmm.
the fight is, like, one of the coolest, most interesting fights in all of superhero history. It's like, it's like everybody's trying to get everybody, like, Matt's trying to
Mm-hmm.
defend Vanessa from Bullseye, but then he's still trying to defeat Kingpin, and Kingpin's
Mm-hmm.
going it's like such a cool it's like twisted, it's not
Mm-hmm.
your typical fights. Everybody having some sort of goal in their fight, and it's so cool. I love season 3 so much.
Oh, dude, I want to talk about season 3 more and more, man. We already talked about Nadim. Nadim. We
Yeah,
still have to talk. I mean, there's so many other stuff I would love to talk about, but
yeah,
yes,
but we'll,
so much.
yeah, I do have to get going kinda soon, but,
Okay,
I will,
yeah.
touch upon a few more things with what you said about the season as a whole. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I feel like oh, wait, let me read, Credible Zay's comment first. Appreciate your comment
Yeah.
once again. We'll read 2 of your comments. Do you think Noel's scene in that last Venom scene will go uncontinued for years? Uh, do you think Noel's scene in that last Venom scene will go? Are you talking about in Venom 2 in the post credit scene?
I think he's talking about Venom 3, the newest one, where they had
Uh,
no.
oh God, not Venom 3. Oh, I thought Venom 1 and 2 was like they were okay, but Venom 3 like made me want to erase that movie from my mind. I was actually shocked about how bad Venom 3 was.
Really?
Did
Oh
you see
man, I
Venom
still haven't
3?
watched it. No,
Don't,
dude.
don't,
Don't just
don't.
don't.
Just you're better off like I'd rather watch Born Again 3 times over than ever watch Venom 3 I mean, it was so there's this one scene where they're in, like, a van and they're all just singing, and it's like everybody's high or I'm like, "What?" It's like this road trip scene. I'm like, "What are we doing here? What is happening?" I literally, like, walked my friend, I'm like, "What am I watching?" I'm watching a road trip scene with a family in a Venom movie, and they're all singing. Like, what are we doing? Sorry, that's just Venom 3 is so brain rot dumb. Uh,
I get you. No
yeah,
worries.
but do you think the Noel scene in that last Venom scene will go on? Maybe, hopefully. I hope never. I would be cool seeing Tom Hardy play Venom again, but just not in a Venom movie. I'm so over that. He was cool in Venom 1 and 2, but they completely jumped the shark in that last one. Appreciate your comment, Incredible Day. And Daredevil Born Again is like when a comic undergoes a new run with new writers. Really true.
Amen. That's a great representation of it.
Yeah, 100% agree, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate your
Yeah.
comments, Incredible Zay. Yeah, and I would just to touch upon the few things you mentioned, the Catholic stuff. I forgot about that
Mhm.
when you mentioned it. Yeah, I feel like the religion aspect is missing with this new series, and also I don't know how you feel about this. I feel like Matt's morality. We do have to wrap up a little bit soon, so we'll just touch
Mhm.
on this part quickly. I just want to hear your quick thoughts because I feel like the worst part for me, the part that makes me want to rip my hair out, is the fact that Matt attempted to kill Bullseye. I feel like it's kind of a character assassination in my opinion. I'm kind of over it now, but it's still like at the time I was like, I really kind of lost it. I was like, bruh, are you kidding me? That just, what are your thoughts about that with the whole Bullseye, Mac attempting to kill Bullseye? If you want to touch upon that really quickly.
Okay, I'll touch upon it really quickly. Yeah, it's a very jarring thing, and a kind of a thing that kind of set like I think Matt knew that in his heart he wanted to kill him, and he actually went through with it, and he
Yeah,
actually did it. And I feel like that's the thing about Matt and with his morality. I think it's a thing where he kind of wants to kill people, but he doesn't. That's how
yeah,
I feel, and that's what's so. And then he actually follows through with it, and he's like, "Oh shit," And then he's like, "Okay." He literally that's the thing that sent him back into retirement because he's like, you know how in Batman? Have you watched Batman Beyond?
yes,
Yeah. Okay. So you know that first scene
yeah, where
when
the gun
yeah he
thing.
whips out the gun. He's like, and that's when he retires. He's like, if he has to whip out a gun, then he's not ready. He's not built for this no more. He's not built for this life. And it's like, okay. And it's kind of the same thing with Matt here. It was like, okay, I feel like that's definitely something that was really like, dang, that's the thing that sent him off the edge, and literally like there's no one to ground him no more. There's no one to tell him like it's okay. It's okay. You have no one. You have nothing to worry about no more, right? But because now Karen's gone and now Foggy's gone, so yeah, I feel like it's just. I think it makes sense for the character, right? Because I feel
Yeah,
like for me, I've always seen Matt as the type of guy where the demon that tells it's the demon that tells him that you should kill people. You need to get the job done. It's constantly instilled by Frank, by Elektra, by many other forces that you need to get the job done. Be cutthroat. Don't half-ass it if you want to truly save the city. But then there's the Matt side of him doesn't who doesn't want that. Because once he goes down that path, who is he different? How is he different from everyone else that he's put away? Right.
yeah,
So that's
yeah,
why it's just like, okay, that's what intrigued me. It's jarring, I won't lie. If I were to watch if I was watching episode 1 again, yeah, that scared the hell out of me. I'm like, oh my god, what are we doing? Why are we making Matt a killer? So I
yeah.
don't know. Yeah, it's interesting though.
Yeah, maybe we can touch more upon that. Maybe we can like make a whole stream about that or something. Because I feel like
Yeah.
we don't have to debate, but maybe we can just like have our own points. Because there's
Hmm.
in my opinion, I just felt like, I mean, I've heard other people's arguments over it. Like years have
Hmm.
passed. It's
Hmm.
like this, and that. But we're getting thrown into the middle of a scene where Boggy's dying, and it's like it just feels so like it was just so like too much at once, and it was so
Hmm.
sudden. And
Hmm.
especially it's just I just kinda hated the whole opening of episode 1,
Okay,
and
I respect that. Yeah,
yeah,
I
that's
respect
just
that
my
take.
opinion. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion, but, that kinda like stuff like that. And then also throughout the season, he's talking about the justice system. He's talking about the system. He's talking about killing
Mhm.
is wrong. And I know he's getting conflicted about it. And I like that. You know, you could be conflicted about it after Foggy's death, but just chucking him off a building, like
Mhm.
really, like I don't know. It felt and that's a kind of a problem with this season too. It just things kind of just happen. Like when Daredevil finally puts on the costume, he's just like F it. And we don't even cut
Mhm.
to him looking at the suit or like a scene where he's like holding up his mask and he's like, okay, it's time to become,
Right.
it's just like, oh, flash to his little cave and he's just jumping around swinging. It's just like things
Right.
just kind of happen this season. I
Right.
also like so anticlimactic at times with this season.
Oh,
It kind of makes it
yeah.
so
I
down.
I'll agree with some yeah, with that point too. Is sometimes
Yeah.
some things just happen and you're like, "Huh, could that thing could have happened a little better." I won't lie, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, exactly. It's just all of it could have been executed better. Incredible,
Yeah.
the Incredibles. They appreciate your comment. Completely agree with. Oh, completely agree with it being a character assassination, especially after the end of Daredevil season 3. Hey,
Mhm.
thank you for your comment, The Incredibles. I really appreciate it. I mean, I got when I made that video about Born Again, because I made a video talking about that scene between Daredevil and Punisher, and I kind of talked
Mhm.
about that beginning of episode 1 where Matt attempts to kill Bullseye. I'm just like, and I just show scenes from the past, like, you know, Matt didn't kill his father, didn't kill his father's killer. He didn't kill Bullseye after he killed father uh
Lantom.
yeah, yeah. What was his name again? Sorry, I just blanked on
Father
it.
Father Lantom?
Yeah, then he killed Father Lantom, and he killed Fisk. Like if he didn't kill any of those guys, and I get Foggy's really important to him, and I guess I get that it was in the moment, but I just I mean, this is an experienced Daredevil too. He's been Daredevil for almost like 10 years at this point, probably.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
maybe.
I just it just did not feel right, especially if he accidentally killed him, that'd be one thing, or like,
Mhm.
or something, or maybe he
Right.
held a gun and shot it, and maybe like had a Batman Beyond type of scene, but he didn't actually kill anybody, just shot the gun. You know what I
Right.
mean? Maybe that could have been something like that, but just
Right.
him. Oh, you know what? F you. You're going off this cliff now. Hope you die.
Yeah.
And it's just like, ugh. That's just my opinion, though. I
Mhm.
appreciate you, Credible Zay, and we'll read this
Yes,
comment
absolutely
here.
appreciate the comments, man.
Yeah, and might as well say Punisher is in the right with this scene. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Matt kind of showed that. Um, yeah, but maybe we could talk about that more another time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
I know you have to get
yeah,
going, man.
7 out of 10 for me. You say 8 out of 10 for you for Born Again.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
8.5. Yes.
8.5
Yeah.
out of 10 for Born Again so
Yeah.
far, depending on how the finale lands. I think it's gonna land
Mhm.
pretty decently based off everything we've
Mhm.
been hearing.
Right.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, and so to touch for our final minutes of the stream, we'll touch upon, you okay touching upon Doomsday and Spider-Man news really quickly for a few minutes? You wanna touch
Yeah.
upon that?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alright, we'll just, since this is an MCU stream, might as well just touch upon these aspects really quick because it's very could mean a lot of implications for the future of there we go the future of the um the MCU and who knows what else is going to affect. So um yeah, what are your thoughts about quickly Doomsday, Secret Wars, Russo's coming back, especially after Electric State, which was it definitely was a movie, to say the least. And also that humongous cast. It's like it's kind of crazy. It's exciting but extremely worrying. Just if you want
Yeah.
to touch quickly upon all that and everything.
Okay, yeah, I feel like my thoughts on Doomsday and all that, I'm not as excited, I won't lie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't it just nothing really excites me. I mean, I need to see the footage, to be honest, to see if it's anything worth being excited for. Because the cast, I mean, seeing RDJ as Doctor Doom is still kind of surreal. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, wow,
Yeah.
that's wild. But I mean, oh yeah, also Tom Hiddleston being back, that's great because I love Loki season 2. So
Okay.
seeing him back, that'd be great. But other than that, I mean, I don't really feel that convicted. Honestly, seeing the cast more, I'm like, really? That's it? Like, we didn't see Spider Man in there. I'm like, I thought Spider Man was gonna be in there. You
There's
know?
there's another reveal coming. They're gonna be announcing more characters. I don't think
Okay.
Spider-Man, maybe Doctor Strange, maybe Scarlet Witch, but there's more characters that are gonna be announced, which is kind of crazy because we already have 25 and we have Avengers, X-Men, Thunderbolts, Fantastic
And
Four.
oh, yes.
It's just like it's sounding like it's bigger than Infinity War and Endgame. Like, how are you combining all these heroes in a way that it's gonna work, you know?
Right. Right,
And
yeah.
like we need actual characters. We can't just have mindless action like we're playing with our action figures again like we were
Mhm.
kids. Like we need
Right.
actual storytelling, you know? So
Mhm.
I just like I just don't get how I mean, it's the Russos. They know how to do superhero movies, but this
Right.
is even big, I think, for even them, especially with the
Yeah.
way Electric State turned out, and that's just a movie with 2 people. It's a movie
Oh,
with 2
yeah.
people. It's a movie with 2 people, and you didn't make it work, but you're expected to make even all these people work? Like,
Ugh.
ugh.
I I know, I'm conflicted on it because 'cause I'm like the thing about especially with Doom, why Infinity War and Endgame works is because of the build up, right? This has been built up for how long, right? For, like, a whole 3 phases, this is built up.
Yeah.
And then these 3 phases, we have no mention of Doom,
Doom,
there's
no.
nothing of Latveria, there's no presence of Doom, right? There's no existential, like, crisis, so, honestly, they were building up more for Kang than Doom, and then now we introduce Doom just because Jonathan Majors has terrible PR and
I
honestly
think
might
it
be a
had
terrible person. Ugh.
yeah, I think it had to do with that, but also I think it had to do with the Kang, it's just not that interesting. Ant-Man 3 bombed, you know, and it
Yeah,
had the
it's
dude
kind of a
get beaten
sign.
by a bunch of ants. Like, imagine Thanos in phase 1 or 2 getting beaten by ants, like, I couldn't take this dude seriously ever again.
Right.
I
Exactly.
they messed Kang up from the start, they did not make him interesting, and it felt so forced too. I feel like they could've man, phase 4, 5, and 6 could have been so good. They just
Yeah.
set it up properly. If they had real TV shows instead of, like, movie tie-in TV shows, phase 4, 5, and 6 leading up to Doomsday and Secret Wars could have been so great, and we needed another Avengers movie in between. We needed, like,
Oh,
an
yeah.
Avengers Secret Invasion. It should have never been a Nick Fury style TV show. It should have been like an Avengers movie, and it could have been really interesting. And also another problem is too, we just got, like, 1 solo movies, like Shang-Chi's in this, but he's only been given 1 movie, and he's barely a
Right.
fleshed out character. It's just there's so many issues going into this,
Right.
and
Absolutely.
it's not it's part of the problem is just the way the MCU has been post Endgame. It's
Right.
really throwing darts at a dartboard all over the place, and multiverse
Yeah.
thing just kinda came out of nowhere too. If you watch Multiverse of Madness and No Way Home, I like No Way
Right.
Home a lot. I love it.
Mhm.
I Multiverse of Madness gives me a headache, but but it's like, we're just throwing things on the dartboard, and
Yeah.
we're getting more characters announced now too, and it's like,
Yeah. Exactly.
oh
They're like throwing everything, but they're missing their bullseye. They haven't hit the bullseye.
nice. Nice little
I know.
fun.
I love,
There you go.
I love my boy Bullseye. Bring him back for Secret Wars.
They're talking people want him for Thunderbolts because apparently in the comics he was part of the Thunderbolts. Maybe he'll come
I
back.
know. Yeah, we'll talk about Thunderbolts another day, bro. Because honestly, that stuff doesn't excite me either.
No,
I'm
I'm
like,
not
oh my
either.
goodness.
I heard
Yeah.
people are saying it's gonna be good. I don't know anymore. I mean, I'm not. I'm DC. I'm riding the DC train. I'm on that DC fumes right now because like
I know.
everything James Gunn's saying, I'm loving. Like he's just
Yeah.
speaking nothing but facts for me.
And if not DC, we have Invincible. So
And
I mean,
the
I know.
That's what made watching Daredevil: Born Again worse. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was so excited for Invincible every episode. I was loving every scene, even in the weakest episodes. It's like a 10 out of 10 for me. Watching
Hmm.
Invincible back to back with Daredevil: Born Again at times, it was like it was just the drip and quality was just insane.
Right.
It's like night and day. I'm like, especially watching that Invincible finale, like, oh my
Oh,
god.
that I know. I miss Invincible so
Me,
much, man.
me,
What I'm supposed
me
to do on
too.
Thursdays?
Yes. Yeah, me too. I don't understand why we can't get more writing quality and like Invincible. Like I think DC is gonna go on the right track too. It's just Marvel's doing everything wrong and I don't think they're understanding what they're doing wrong. That's just my opinion, but they're just
Mhm.
I'm just so sick of Marvel right now. Um, just being honest, being honest.
Yeah.
Incredible Zay, what do you guys think does Peter Parker better? Sony, Disney, MCU. Um, which do I think does Peter Parker better? Sony or MCU? Um, there's great aspects to both.
Mhm.
All three Spider-Man have great aspects to them. I personally like Tom Holland's Spider-Man the best. I think he's the best version of Spider-Man we've ever had. I think Andrew
Mhm.
Garfield's the best actor to have ever played Spider-Man, and Tobey's Spider-Man is just so iconic with a lot of great scenes with him as well. But he's kind of, I think, the weakest. And I don't know that's really controversial, but
Whoa, 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 whoa! What'd you say that for?
yeah, people get really passionate about Toby. Like I
Yeah.
get it. I grew up with his movies, but as an adult now, like there's a lot of great scenes, but there's just a lot of stuff that just like it drags it down for me. Like Mary Jane stuff.
Mhm.
Spider-Man
Mhm.
3 is a god awful film. In
Wait,
my
wait, 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 wait. Wait a second. Hold on. Hold on. Let's draw the line. Let's draw the line.
yeah, I crossed the line.
It's a comedic masterpiece. That's what I see. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, it's a movie full of memes. I'm gonna
Yes.
put some dirt in that eye. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think does better? What do you think's the best Spider-Man live action?
uh, if you're going live action, oh yeah, we're not counting Spider Verse, right? Because Spider Verse is its own thing. But live action, I do like what the MCU is doing. I do miss what Sony has done with Spider Man. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm kind of conflicted. I do like like we're not gonna count the animated stuff like
no,
Friendly Neighborhood Spider Man because that stuff is awesome. So I wish we could count that. But from
yeah,
like live action point of view, Tom Holland has the most potential with the MCU. So I would say
very
the
much so.
MCU, but I love Toby and Andrew. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll say the MCU.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. Hopefully they don't mess it up. I mean, they had a lot of potential with they have a lot of potential with this new trilogy, but now it's sounding like there's multiverse stuff coming with Spider-Man 4, and Sony's putting their grubby
Oof.
little paws on Spider-Man 4, and they're just like, "Oh, let's make a multiverse. Let's add Toby and Andrew back in." It's like,
Yeah.
they're like brain dead sometimes, Sony.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I don't mean
yeah.
to sound mean about it, but it's like Sony is they just give up Spider-Man, please. Like,
Oh,
and the
yes.
saddest part about live action Spider-Man 2, we'll touch upon Spider-Man now and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the saddest part about Spider-Man is I don't think we've still reached Spider-Man's full potential on the big
Oh,
screen
no,
yet.
absolutely not.
Like
No
my
way.
my favorite parts about Spider-Man is like I want have you ever watched the movie The Perks of Being a Wallflower? That's one of my all-time favorite
Oh,
movies.
I love
Wait,
Perks, man.
wait,
I
really?
love
Oh,
yeah, I love
awesome.
that thing makes me
Awesome.
so sad, but I'm like, "Oh, we are infinite going down the tunnel."
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I love that movie. I love the book. I love that movie. It's I'd say like my seventh favorite all-time favorite movie.
Right.
I want like a coming of age story that takes it seriously as like Perks of Being a Wallflower, something like Looking for Alaska. I'm not sure if you know what that is either.
No, I
Um
don't think I've seen that one.
yeah, it's a TV show. It's if you like Perks, it's like a TV show
Mhm.
version of Perks of Being a Wallflower, same types of aesthetics and coming of age story.
Okay. That's
It's on
cool.
Hulu. Yeah, putting that plug in there for anybody that's watching. Watch Looking for Alaska, one of the best shows ever made.
I know
Um,
you're advertising it. I love it.
yeah, so it's I want something that feels real that can like really pull at the heartstrings, something that shows Peter really being relatable and struggling. We don't need like I just feel like there's so much potential, and we haven't even touched upon the many great storylines from the comics. And uh, what is- I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I get
I don't
what
know
you're
if I'm
saying,
making
though.
sense. I just feel like
No, I
we
get you.
need we need like a real Spider-Man, and I love what we've gotten, but it's like we need more. We need like something more grounded, something more to the heart, more to the
Mhm.
soul, more to the human
Right.
experience.
Right,
Something that
absolutely.
feels like, something that feels like us in a way.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I think we could do that with Tom Holland's Spider-Man new trilogy. You know, we still want the action. We still want this, and that. I get you got the aiming for kids, but I wanted like an adult Spider-Man story that's that like takes its stuff serious, not seriously. Like we need Spider-Man quipping, but do you get what I'm saying? I feel like I'm not making
Right,
too
no.
much sense.
No, I get what you're saying, yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like what Spider-Man I always believe that Spider-Man translates better on television than he does on movies. Because movies, you have
Yes.
condensed down his entire arc, his entire emotional, how he's feeling, how these other characters are feeling about
Yeah.
Peter. And I feel like with the TV show, you can explore that to its fullest capabilities. You can explore the side characters, and Peter has great supporting. He always has a great supporting cast.
MJ,
He always has
Harry,
Gwen. Yeah,
Gwen.
MJ, Harry, Gwen. The new characters, like you could put back Liz Allen for all you say, right? But
Yeah.
I feel like with having a movie, you're kind of condensing this character, and in return, you kind of have to go big because you have to appease the studio. You have to do all of that type of stuff. Even though at his core, I feel like Peter might be the best when he's at his most ground level, when he's at the most beaten down,
Yeah.
when he has to be the most gritty, because he's the hope that shines, especially during like the most grittiest of times. Because shit gets tough when you're in New York City, man. I'm surprised most people haven't moved out. So
Yeah.
I'm like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I was just at New York a
Yeah.
few weeks ago, and it's,
Oh, really?
yeah, it's something, like, definitely an environment. It's the people there are a different breed of people, to say the least. Like the drivers, the people, like bro, like I've never seen a group. I don't, no hate on New Yorkers or anything, but I've never seen a
Right.
group of people that have like the least amount of manners humanly possible. Like people are running into me left and right. I'm like, God damn, where's the excuse me? Like, excuse me,
Excuse me, no.
I'm
And they
walking
push you
here.
down to the
Like,
ground and then walk over you. I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah, exactly. It's like everyone's just like like drones moving into directions, just like blasting everything through it's just New York's something else. But
I
sorry.
get that, man. You're
But
good.
yeah. No, I know what you're saying about Spider-Man though. It's just yeah, I just feel like we need something from the human experience. I was gonna say one more thing about Spider-Man too. But oh yeah, in the TV show, I think it works best on the TV show
Hmm.
level. Actually, funny enough, I have like a 15 season outline for a Spider-Man TV show. I come up with a
Really?
lot of creative ideas during school and free time.
Oh,
So
yeah. Yeah, you're like, oh, I don't really go give a fuck about this lesson. Spider-Man it is. Here it is.
yeah, I'm like,
Just write it down.
yeah, I'm like in a science class. It's like I want to be a writer. I want to be storyteller, and I'm learning about science. I mean, I'm typing the notes, but like as he's jibber jabbering, I'm like also doing story stuff,
Right.
doing my
I
writing.
get you, dude. I
Yeah,
know. Yeah, man.
but yeah, no, sorry guys for the New York tangent and college tangent. Life, we're Spider Man. Me and Real Hooper Knowledge. We're Spider Man right now. We're going through
Yeah.
the Peter Parker journey.
Dude,
Um.
that's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, but I want to add, like, did have you heard the rumors that it might be Mr. Negative as the main villain for Spider-Man 4? There might be a chance
Oh.
that Mr. Negative.
That would be interesting. I guess.
Right.
I don't know. How you feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, we never had Mr. Negative in live action, so I'm intrigued. Let's explore new villains. That's all I asked for. Let's explore new
Yeah.
villains. Let's not do multiverse, please, for the love of
No. Yeah,
God.
that's what I'm a little concerned about by hearing Mr. Negative. I know he's like you can make him street level, but I mean he is a super powered villain. I want
Right.
Scorpion, honestly. Like Michael Mando
Oh.
is an
Oh my
incredible
goodness.
actor.
Right.
He's
I forget that he exists in the MCU.
yeah, because he was in Homecoming. He's like, he like interrogates Vulture, and then they just kind of
Right.
disappears in prison. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, I hope we get a, a sequel, not a sequel, but like a follow up to that, because Michael Mando's an incredible actor. Like Better Call Saul, he's like the best character in that show, in my
Oh
opinion.
yeah.
Is his
I love Lalo. I love Lalo too much.
lot?
That's why Tony Dalton hits different.
Yeah, yeah, in Better Call Saul, I miss that show so much.
Uh-huh.
I've
Come on, Bob Odenkirk, come to the MCU, please. Actually,
yeah,
don't save the MCU for the love of God.
yeah, and
Uh,
Gustavo. Well,
oh
he's
yeah,
now
no,
Giancarlo Esposito is now in the MCU and like the
uh,
most generic character possible,
oh,
unfortunately.
so sad, so sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know.
Um.
I was gonna like say like
Yeah.
I'm like I think Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, that show really showcased like the potential of Scorpion as a threat. That'd
Yes.
be awesome. Like we could see because a more ground level Spider-Man with no tech has to compete with the most techiest, not the most techiest, villain, but the most ruthless villain you probably would have because he's just a guy. He's just a guy with a big tail. He's like, "Oh, I'm a scorpion. I'm gonna kill you." Like, "Oh crap, my
Yeah,
bad."
absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, one more thing about Spider-Man, I don't know what, we'll read this comment first, and then we'll touch about
Right.
the async stuff with Spider-Man, and, to quickly just talk about the name title because I do have to go in, like, about 5 minutes. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so we'll just read this comment real quick. Thank you, Incredibles Day, for all the comments in the stream, and thank you for everybody who's been
Yeah.
watching.
Appreciate you.
Love is much appreciated. I remember one guy who said Invincible is the best superhero show, and Twitter replies went into war. Some people were even bringing up My Hero Academia and Justice League in the same breath. I've never seen My
Ooh.
Hero Academia. Um, in my opinion, Invincible is either second or best. It probably by the end of its show, it's going to be the best animated superhero show, and um, I love that show so much. What do you
Oh
think
yeah.
about that comment about
Oh
Incredible
yeah.
Dave's comment?
I mean, hey, whatever everyone's supposed to vote. Twitter's just a cesspool. I don't bother with Twitter, but
I'm not even on it. Nope.
yeah, thank God for your mental health. That's great.
Yeah,
I mean, I think if you like Invincible, you like Invincible. You know, you're gonna have these takes, and everyone has the right to respond back, and I think that's just the way it is. I
yeah.
could say it, I love Spectacular Spider-Man. That's probably still the best animated show so
Yes.
far. So far, because I mean, Invincible. I mean, as long as if it ends off the same way as it does in the comics, yeah, easily the best. But right now, Spectacular Spider-Man. So
You
that's
put
fine.
Spectacular over Invincible?
For now, yeah, because I think
Ooh.
we'll get there. Because I feel like Spectacular Spider-Man, and I just love Spider-Man more. So that's just my bias.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you on that. I love Spectacular too, and for the longest time, Invincible was third on my list. But
Right.
it's just the problem with Spectacular is it's just not enough episodes, and we're just getting so much more story with Invincible.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
so
shame.
sad.
We need
I
we
just
need
blame
Spectacular
Sony for
back.
my problems.
Sony is the end all be all with everyone's problems,
I know.
including
Yes.
Spider-Man's. Yeah, so let's touch upon Sadie Sink real quick. Who do you think she's gonna play? I hope it's not Jean Grey or some
All
multiverse
right,
thing.
multiverse Mary Jane? No way. Can you imagine? No, that would be
Um, I think
awful.
she would actually in my I know I like not trying to plug my stories or anything that I'll eventually share on
Yeah,
my channel, but my
yeah,
Spider-Man TV show that I had planned, like if I had to like make a Spider-Man TV show, I'd pick her as Mary Jane, honestly.
yeah.
Um,
Okay, that's
I
cool. I
I
don't think
think
she's a bad casting. I just don't think I don't want to do a multiverse Mary Jane, you know?
no, we have MJ already.
Yeah.
And Zendaya's a really incredible actress.
Yeah. And they're
I
about to
think we
get
should.
married for God's sakes.
Yeah, we finally need a Spider-Man. We need a Spider-Man that goes through a lot of crap, but then we need a Spider-Man that wins. You know, like we
Right.
need him to go through all
Absolutely.
this dumpster fire, horrible crap, lose so many people, but in the end, we need this like, oh my God, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I went through all this crap throughout my whole entire life for
Hmm.
this exact moment. I'm waiting
Right.
for a Spider-Man story to finally do that. And I just want to see him go really dark, but then be hopeful. Like I am gonna have a good life with a good family and get married.
Right.
And
Right.
you don't have to have a family to have a good life, but just give him the family life. Make him like an Uncle
Hmm.
Ben to his kids. You know,
Right.
it's just be a
Ah,
cool full circle moment. You know what I mean?
yes, we need that. We need that. And that's why
Yeah,
I think Sadie Sink might be Gwen Stacy. That might be that's my prediction. She
I
might
would
be
love
Gwen
that.
Stacy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know she has red hair, so everybody assumes Mary Jane, but I'll be down for
Yeah.
Gwen Stacy or maybe a Black Cat or something. I
Black
don't think she'll
Cat,
make
I
a
would
good.
love Black Cat. I want Black Cat. I mean, no simp stuff, but I mean, we just need Black Cat in live action. So, we
Yeah,
need that.
I agree. I agree. Um, and oh yeah, we said she might be playing Jean Grey. If she plays Jean Grey or any kind of multiverse stuff, I just want Spider-Man 4 to be street level. Please just be grounded.
We just want the simple stuff, man.
Yes, I want to see Peter struggling with the bills. I want to see him get evicted from his apartment. I want to see him lose some people in this. Come on, like give me the real college years, please.
Yeah, give me
But
some
yeah,
depression, man.
yes, yeah, like give us some like real anxiety, real depression. Like I doubt they will ever do that or touch upon real issues with mental health in any of the Spider-Man
I
movies.
wish they
Hopefully,
would. It
Me
sounds like
too.
reasonable stuff, you know? It seems like Peter Parker has the worst mental health, I bet, you know? Like, this guy, you're
Almost
saving
everybody.
everyone, but yet your shit must be dog.
Yeah. Uh, recent Spider-Man comments are depression. Yeah, I looked into that stuff about Paul and all that, and it's stupid. Like what they do, it's really stupid. Like I get it. I want Spider-Man to lose, but he's lost all of his life in this comics. Give him some wins. Like it's over. In the movie,
Yeah, the
he's
losses
all
don't
he
mean
does.
anything.
Yeah, it's like comes a point where it's like it becomes meaningless, but in the movies it
Mhm,
hasn't been done yet. That's why I want to see Spider-Man really like going through depression, anxiety, dealing with bills more often. I mean, it's kind of been touched upon, especially in the Tobey movies, but I want more of it, you know?
mhm.
I want
Amen.
I want more of that sadness from the movies and what else was I gonna say? Yeah, and then like I said, in the end, I want him to win. But yeah, so that's all the time we have, everybody. I really
Yes,
do have to get
awesome.
going. Thank
Yeah,
you again for everybody tuning in. Thank you for the incredible Zay for all the comments. It's much
appreciate you,
appreciated.
man.
And
Yeah,
thanks again for Real Hooper Knowledge for coming on to the channel once more. Hope to have you on again for another stream. And
absolutely. Yeah, this is absolutely a pleasure. I can't wait to do more of this, man.
yeah, absolutely. It's been fun every time. And also, guys, check out our Ray his on his channel, Ray Nadim's video. We did a video talking about how he's Marvel's unsung hero. He's
Mhm.
underrated.
Yes, my
Yeah,
homie, my goat.
yes, yeah. Must he rest? He may rest in peace, even though Born Again kind of
Me.
ruined his thing. But oh yeah, I wanted to touch upon that too more. Well,
Dude, there's
man,
so
we
much we
need
could
more.
talk about.
Yeah, once school's over, like, I can like, I can really just talk,
Right?
unlike
Yeah, no, I got
colleges.
you, bro.
W stream. Thank you, The Incredible Zay.
Thank
Yes,
you, bro. Thank you
yes,
for being on, man.
this has been a W. Thank you guys again, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
All
Peace,
right,
guys.
we'll see you. Peace out, man.